Welcome back to the College World Series in Omaha. Gene Stevenson, the head coach at Wichita State, in his 19th year with one series championship in 1989. Senior Randy Young will lead it off and play center field. He's #1 in the nation with 68 stolen bases. Travis Wyckoff with a .405 average hits second and starts in left. #3 is Casey Blake, the club's leader in homers and RBIs. The senior plays third base. The cleanup man with 15 homers, Adam McCullough, the former catcher, is now at first. The DH is Jeff Ryan. The freshman carries a .388 average. Jerry Stein, one of 5 senior starters, will play right field. Nathan Reese is #7 in the order and will catch. Freshman Zach Sorensen bats 8th and will be at shortstop. And another freshman, Kevin Hooper, plays second base and bats 9th.
And on the mound for Florida State, Scooby Morgan. Good live fastball, tight slider, changeup. Aggressive pitcher on the mound. Not a big strikeout pitcher, relies on ground balls to be successful.
Jeremy Salazar will be the catcher tonight, primarily because he has a better arm around the rest of the defense. Woodward at first, Zetch, the second baseman, Badeau at short, Thoreau and left. Around the outfield, Morris, Drew, and Neto. Mike Martin, who has been a fixture here at the College World Series, 17th year at Florida State, won over 900 ball games, but his team has been snake bitten out here in Omaha, and he is hoping to avoid that dreaded 0-2 in a barbecue right now.
Mike Martin gives you that homespun grits when you talk to him.
He's delighted to have his team here this year. He said there were so few expectations for Florida State, and they have really overachieved. This is Randy Young, who stands in to lead off the ball game, currently hitting .301, 1 out of 4 in the College World Series.
Randy Young has tremendous speed. He has 66 stolen bases, which leads the nation.
All Florida State did last year was lose 4 starters, their closer, and their first 3 hitters in the lineup. And here they are back at the College World Series. Not bad.
Well, Mike Martin will tell you they were giddy when they beat Stanford, and they can't believe they're here. But that's a very disarming Mike Martin, who down deep knows that he wants his team to win and can win this World Series.
Line to center, but J.D. Drew is there. Mike had a good point. He said there's 2 teams out there. Somebody's got to win. Might as well be us.
That's right. And if we don't think we can win, whoa, wait a minute. Let's find a way.
And his kids believe that. They have all year long. Travis Wyckoff, the senior from Arkansas City, Kansas, the #2 hitter, now hitting .405 on the year. 0 for 3 in his first game in the College World Series this season. On the ground to the first baseman. Woodward will take it himself. 2 quickly gone here in the top of the first. Mike Martin, as we told you, has had some problems out here. 1-2 the last 3 years, 0-1 so far in '96. 0-2 gets you a bus ticket out of town.
And barbecue, is that the
0-2 in the barbecue. Here's the hitting star for the Shockers so far, Casey Blake. He is 4 out of 5 in the College World Series, including a home run and 4 runs batted in. Drafted last year by the Yankees, decided to come back, as did several of his teammates, to come back and play their senior year because they felt they were destined to be in the College World Series and win a championship.
Casey Blake has been a project by Gene Stevenson, and that this young man is very intense, puts a lot of pressure on himself. Gene has worked with him to relax and to enjoy the game a little more, and it's proven to be a successful equation.
If you take a look at Scooby Morgan's numbers, not all that great, but the last 5 starts he's won them all, and a perfect 4-0 in the postseason with an ERA under 2. So he's really done the job. Chopped toward third, Thoreau in foul territory.
Mike, both you and I know that sometimes a player might not have tremendous talent, but somehow he wins. He's known as a winner. He seems to always be on championship teams, and he seems to always be 6-1, and you wonder heck did he get 6 wins? We should have beat him.
Absolutely, and he's hot at the right time of the year. Here's a guy that, you know, doesn't have the tools. He's at his best in the low 80s. Once the fastball gets up around 84, 85 miles an hour, he's not very effective with it. That's 86. If you've ever tried to hit a baseball, movement is so much more important than velocity once you reach a certain stage, of course.
Definitely so. You take a look at some of the pitchers.
Ate up the shortstop, Brooks Battle. And Casey Blake is 5 out of 6 here in Omaha.
We've seen some balls just rocket off these bats. Take a look at this one. It's a laser right at shortstop. Watch this ball come and eat him up and ricochet over towards center. Ouch. That's a forearm bruise.
And he didn't come up on it. It came up on him. First hit of the ball game will bring up Adam McCullough with 2 outs. McCullough, another senior. He's out of Lawton, Oklahoma. Strike on the corner. Hit to short. Batto diving stop, gets the force at second base. Nice play by the shortstop Brooks Batto. It's the end of the first half inning, and there is no score. Now let's take a look at Florida State's starting lineup. Brooks Batto leads off. He's batting .356 and will play shortstop. Adam Farrell, the hottest hitter on the club, is the starter at third. In center field, the hitting star of last year's series, J.D. Drew, the team's best power man. The cleanup hitter is left fielder Jeremy Morris, #1 in the country with 35 doubles. Scott Zetch, the second baseman, hits 5th in the order. Jeff Sprague will DH and bat 6th. The catcher is sophomore Jeremy Salazar. The only senior starter, Steve Neto, is in right field. And batting 9th and playing first base, sophomore Matt Woodward.
And pitching for Wichita State, Steve Forel, who's a strikeout pitcher. Got a good live fastball, straight change, and a palm ball. Gene Stevenson described him as a young pitcher who grows on you. He doesn't impress you immediately, but the more you see him work, the more you like him.
And as you mentioned earlier, they would just like to see a good 5 innings out of the young man tonight so they could go to their bullpen. Their starting pitching has really hurt them. Nathan Reese will be the catcher around the infield. McCullough, Hooper, Sorensen, and Blake, the outfielders, Travis Wyckoff, Randy Young, and Jerry Stein. It's a nice winter evening here in Omaha, 61 degrees, and it's getting colder. Whatever happened to summer? It's June, isn't it? 14-mile-an-hour wind. Actually now blowing out to right field. And not quite at this point 14 miles an hour, but it's been pretty steady all day. And the weatherman says the clouds will slowly begin to clear tonight, and we shouldn't have any problems with the weather as long as you're wearing a coat.
And we know that from time to time it's been like this, and a day later it can be 85 degrees.
Let's hope so.
And we're praying.
Here's Batto, the shortstop from Scott, Louisiana. #9 hitter a year ago, a young man that knows how to be a leadoff hitter. He's very patient up there. When they put him in the leadoff spot, he started the season off with a 23-game hitting streak. Looks like he wanted to lay it down, instead takes it for a called strike, 1-1.
I've always found, Mike, if you're going to lay it down, might as well go after the pitch, because #1, you're working on the element of surprise, and once you bring it back, you've taken that away. So we'll give it a shot.
Good fastball in there for strike 1 and 2. Hit right back through the middle. We'll throw over to McCullough for the easy out. Forrell's another one of those guys who's hot at the right time. He made the all-regional team in the NCAA playoffs. Went 7 1/3 innings. That was his longest outing of the year. And he won the ball game. Didn't allow a run. Gave up only 5 hits. And the numbers on him this year, a dramatic improvement in his one-loss record, up to 11-1. Thoreau wanted to bunt one and was jammed.
What a difference a year makes from 3-3 to 11-1. Of course, he also has about a point higher earned run average, but I think Gene Stevenson will take that extra 7 wins.
Lays it down the third baseline. Casey Blake down the road. Didn't get it. So Thoreau showed bunt on the first pitch, went ahead and did it the second time. And Blake, who's a good defensive third baseman, just couldn't get there in time.
This is a case where Thoreau comes up bunting again. Now, if you look at this ball, the ball really does have a little bit of a hook to it towards third base. Blake should have let it go, and I think it would have gotten to the dirt and just kicked foul. He had no chance at first.
This sets the table for J.D. Drew. Put on quite a show here in Omaha last year. Young man currently hitting .385, number 1 on the team. 20 homers, 87 RBIs. That ties for the lead. As a freshman, he set the College World Series record. That throw was close as Thoreau had to dive back ahead. 4 home runs in the series, 3 in 1 game.
And how do you have a 756 slugging percentage?
I wouldn't know.
We've seen a few of those in this College World Series. A couple of young men in the 800 slugging percentage area.
That's a little scary. This kid had stardom written all over him as a freshman, and nothing has changed as a sophomore.
And the more I watch him, his stance a little bit like Lou Gehrig, believe it or not. Gehrig had a wider stance, very balanced, upright.
Outside, got away from the catcher Nathan Reese. Thoreau on the run. He's on the way to third. So Thoreau gets a stolen base and then advances on the miscue all the way to third.
Let's take a look at this pitch. Really goes away. This is a pass ball, goes off the catcher's mitt, and Thoreau, who's off and running, easily rounds second and stands up at third.
14th stolen base of the year for Thoreau, and now a chance to drive in a run with a fly ball for J.D. Drew. Let's go to Larry Conley. Larry, where are you?
Yeah, Mike, I'm down behind home plate. I had a chance to talk to J.D. Drew before the game and ask him about the series this year versus the sizzling series he had last year. He said, well, last year I was just filling in behind some key players. He said this year, Jeremy Morris and I feel like we have to have the leadership role with, if you'll get this, all these young players we've got here.
Yeah, he's an aging sophomore.
Forrell has to be careful. He makes the mistake.
That'll get the run home. Randy Young camped in center field. Thoreau tags at third and scores easily. 1-0 Seminoles. J.D. Drew doesn't get the hit, but he does get the run batted in and the lead for his ball club. Really, the fascinating thing about baseball, there are so many battles within a battle. Pitcher's trying to keep it down to avoid the sacrifice fly. The batter has to hit it in the air to get it. And it's just one little piece of the puzzle.
It's almost a misnomer that it's a team sport because it's one-on-one individual challenges. Pitcher against hitter, who hits the ball, shortstop fields the ball. He has to throw it to first, who has to catch the ball. And then there's the classic play of runner on first base and the ball's hit in the gap, and now the fielder has to hit the cutoff man, who hits another cutoff man who throws it to home to get the runner.
Oh, you're right. Once you put it all together, it's a team, but it's made up of individuals who have to perform like one.
Individual performances leading to the team success.
Jeremy Morris, who has had a big year with 87 RBIs. He is now 1 behind his teammate, J.D. Drew. First game of the College World Series, Morris lost his 16-game hitting streak, and he starts another one right here. Ball's bobbled. He's going for 2. The throw not in time. Randy Young bobbled it in left center. And Morris just hustled into second base. The aggressiveness of the Seminoles under Mike Martin.
Well, Mike Martin told us that he was going to make sure his team was aggressive tonight. Now this bobble costs an extra base, and Morris shows good speed in picking up the bobble and sliding headfirst into second.
It's a single and an error. Scott Zetch takes a fastball in for a strike as the sun finally breaks through here in Omaha. Was there anything prettier than a baseball field when the sun comes through at this time of day? It's just striking. Tap toward third. Kick down there. Everybody's safe. Casey Blake just came up on it. And Wichita State is playing itself into a peck of trouble.
Both head coaches knew in this situation, an elimination situation, it's going to put a lot of pressure on the defenses. And so far, Wichita State has been the one to crack first.
2 errors and a passed ball here in the inning. Fortunately for them, they have only given up 1 run as yet. But runners at the corner now for Sprague. Only has 2 home runs, but has more power than that.
And facing Forel, who is not overpowering, this is a good matchup for the Seminoles.
Downstairs for a ball. Numbers on Sprague. His dad, Ed, played with Mike Martin at Florida State and is now out in Seattle. Throw to first. Zetch dives back in there. Zetch is the #1 base stealer on this club. It'll be interesting to see if Mike Martin wants to run him with 2 gone and runners at first and third. Two and 0 to Sprague.
I think Martin will keep the runners stationary and let Sprague hit away. Excellent base stealing percentage.
Strike called inside corner. Tough pitch for a right-hander to handle from a left-handed pitcher if he can get it in that far.
You got to make sure you get it way in.
Yes, sir. Otherwise, it goes way out. Bottom of the first, 1-0 Florida State over Wichita State. This is an elimination game. Snap throw.
Mikey, now you see the pitcher fake to third and go to first.
Right.
The first game today, Wilkerson for Florida faked to first and then looked back at third and really confused the runners. They hadn't seen that one in a while. He stepped back, faked to first, and he had him trapped.
Runner goes. Ball hit towards shortstop. Sorensen comes up with a long throw. McCullough comes up with it. The inning is over. The Seminoles strand 2, but get a run home. It's 1-0 at the end of 1. Played 1 full inning here at the College World Series, and Florida State has a 1-0 lead over Wichita State. Gene Stevenson out talking to home plate umpire Scott Graham. We have no idea why. Shoup goes back to the dugout to join Mike Martin.
You have to send Larry down there to find out. An investigative reporter. Jamie Shoup, pretty good pitcher.
Certainly was. Now working with Mike Martin in Tallahassee. Jeff Ryan, the DH, a freshman from Grand Prairie, Texas, now carrying a .388 average in there. Had an RBI in his opening game of the College World Series, went 1 for 4. He's really had a good NCAA tournament, 7 for 16. recovered from that broken right hand that cost him 6 weeks during the year.
And Mike, what happens when you injure a hand during the season, it may heal, but it takes a while to get the strength back. And one of the keys to hitting is to have the symmetry of strength in both arms and hands. I know anytime I've had a hand injury, there's really been an imbalance. I've had a tendency to favor it, overswing or underswing, so it takes a while.
He was projected to be the Missouri Valley Conference Newcomer of the Year, heavily recruited out of high school. Morgan misses outside. It's 2-2. Very athletic young man at 5'9", 170. Struck him out. So Scooby Morgan has looked good at the beginning of this ball game.
Scooby Morgan takes a little bit of a sidearm slider and throws it inside. Very tough to get to when you have a big swing like Ryan took that time. Let's take a look at a little change up there.
Little crossfire to Jerry Stein in there for the called strike. Stein broke out of a slump that he had at the regional, only 1 out of 15, but he was 1 for 3 here in Omaha.
Scooby Morgan's outpitch tonight is going to be that change that just struck Ryan out.
Tapped foul 1 and 2.
Good changeup pitchers. You'll see the same arm movement, but probably 5 to 6 miles per hour less off the pitch, which makes it difficult for a hitter to wait back on. The great changeup pitchers, you'll see the hitters swing and miss.
Best one I saw in the last 10 years was Tewksbury.
Very good. Andy Messersmith and Doug Rao were also 2 guys who threw exceptional changeup.
2 straight strikeouts for Morgan.
Morgan drops down 3/4, throws the slider this time, and Wichita State hitters with big swings tonight. Looking more towards the fences than on a line.
Morgan is not a strikeout pitcher coming into this game. 58 strikeouts and 106 2/3 inning of work. Nathan Reese, the catcher. Strike on the corner. Morgan has been sharp at the beginning.
Licensing and merchandising.
Hit to short. Batto throws him out. A quick 1-2-3 for Wichita State. We'll go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Seminoles.
Welcome back to the College World Series. We're approximately 3 miles from Rosenblatt Stadium on the roof of the tallest building in the state of Nebraska, the Woodman Tower, where they have an ongoing preservation project for peregrine falcons. The birds are 2 floors below us. Let's go down and take a look. Why Omaha? The reason they use this building is because of the proximity of the Missouri River, only a half a mile away, and is a natural migration trail for these magnificent birds. This project began in 1988 with some chicks, and the peregrines have returned every year since.
That's great. Hello. We'll get more from Larry in a moment. It's amazing the way wildlife can adapt if you just give them, if we give them the chance to do so.
Give an opportunity.
Jeremy Salazar, the catcher tonight, stands in as we start the bottom of the first inning, hitting .269 on the year. Pops this foul off the right side, back over the roof. And Larry, when do we expect those eggs to hatch?
Well, Mike, my new friend just informed me that the process actually begins in March when the birds return. They mate in April, and actually the eggs will hatch just about the time we name a national champion at Rosenblatt Stadium.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Conley. We appreciate that. We'll be around to see one. I doubt if we'll get to see the other one. Hit high in the air to left field. Wyckoff with room. And Salazar is gone. If you hit it that high in the air to left field, you'd better start off at about 450 feet because it's coming back.
That's right. Wind blowing from left to right here typically at Rosenblatt Stadium. Any ball hit very high in the air is going to get knocked down in left field. Any ball hit high in the air to right field's got a good chance of going out.
We were talking, I guess, yesterday, Steve, about the wind has either been blowing a gale to right or to left. At one point, there was actually some wind to straightaway center, and neither one of us can ever remember seeing the wind blowing in here. And one of the local reporters said it has blown in almost every night all year until you guys got here. So I guess they saved it for us. Steve Neto with one out and nobody on.
God loves the hitters.
Well, he gave them aluminum bats.
He made aluminum bats. That's right. Did you see Charlton Heston with the couple of stone tablets there, and on it says that he made aluminum bats.
But nobody would have known what that meant for several hundred years.
What does he mean? Be patient.
18 and a half centuries. That's right. 2-1 to Neto. Downstairs, 3-1.
Neto, a good patient hitter, knows the strike zone very well. Good contact hitter, sprays the ball to all fields.
Strike called. So a full count to the senior co-captain for the Seminoles. He's out of North Fort Myers. Hit foul outside the third.
Neto's a switch hitter, hitting predominantly from the right side. He's got more power from the right side.
The 3-2 again, hit foul outside a third again. Forel has allowed 2 hits so far. And puts that one down in the dirt and walks Neto.
Mike, you like to look for little steins as far as the intensity of the two teams, especially in a sudden death situation. Wichita State seems to be a little more laid back. Florida State on the front steps. A little more into the game, a little more enthusiastic.
Well, they've been that way all year long. A team that was told they didn't have much of a chance because they lost so many players, but the teams never believed it.
You know, you hear the terms underachiever and overachiever over the last 4 or 5 years, and this Florida State team, after losing a number of quality players, been essentially overachievers this year, getting the most of their ability.
Ball downstairs to Matt Woodward, the sophomore from Redmond, Washington. His dad, Woody, hired Mike Martin at Florida State to go on his coaching staff.
Just saw Woody a couple of nights ago enjoying this College World Series. Quite sure he's on the phone when he's not at the ballpark.
Neto running on the throw. Not in time. Neto gets his 14th stolen base.
This is one time where the base is really stolen. Even Neto is looking back, showing the type of speed he has, and he goes in head first and relatively easy.
Runner at second with 1 out for Woodward. Used primarily against left-hand pitching this year. Down in the dirt, blocked by Reese. 2-1.
Forel much more deliberate from a stretch. With a windup, he seems to be much looser, have better control, but from a stretch, he's a tall pitcher. That's 6'2", 6'3".
Forces Neto to hustle back into second base as Kevin Hooper came over to cover.
Taller the pitcher, the more rhythm he needs. And sometimes a pitcher can be too tall, like J.R. Richard, who's about 6'8". They had to take away his windup and work him from the stretch regardless. And he became a much better pitcher.
Forel steps off again. And now Kevin Hooper is going to come in. Maybe he had a problem with the signs.
Cotton candy at its finest.
We have had none delivered up here, you know.
The young man's a gentleman, just like, you know, when you're eating alone and you have a piece of bread and you break a piece off and eat it. This young man broke a piece of that cotton candy off and was just holding the rest.
Line towards second. Hooper with a catch to throw to second. Double play. Kevin Hooper speared the line drive, turned and threw to Sorensen. Woodward hit it hard, but he's out on the double play. Hey, Cubs win 1-0 Florida State over Wichita State as we go to the top of the third.
Let's take a look at this double play. A line shot, picks it right off the top and then pivots for an excellent quick double play. That should pick the spirits of the Wichita State team up.
Zach Sorensen, the number 8 hitter, will lead it off, and then after Hooper, we'll go back to the top of the order. Scooby Morgan has been sharp through the first 2 innings, allowing only 1 hit. Sorensen, an honorable mention All-American on the Mizuno team this year. Freshman from Salt Lake City. Done an excellent job at shortstop as a freshman. Got one inside. Nice stab by Farrell. There's a little range for you, and nice reaction. Adam Farrell hard to his left.
Good quick instincts by Adam that time, who's playing in less than even with a bag. He's got to extend out, and he actually leaves the ground to make the catch, and a good strong throw at first gets him.
He's a young man who lost his job at third base because of a fielding slump in April. Sure out of that.
He's back.
Kevin Hooper stands in. 2 for 4 in the opening game of the College World Series. .317 on the year. And he has 3 hits in 5 trips here in Omaha. The diminutive second baseman getting a great start here. Real spark plug for his ball club, and Gene Stevens.
He really kept his team in that first game against LSU, and now he takes an outside pitch and just rockets it right up the middle. Does a good job of hitting.
Good base runner too. He's stolen 12 out of 15 this year. Randy Young back to the top of the order. He lined to center his first time up. And of course, they love to have Young on base because he leads the nation in stolen bases. Time is called. Well, Scooby Morgan was already set to deliver that baseball. Pitchers hate that.
That's a tough time to call time. Umpire usually wants to protect both the pitcher and the hitter, but it's just too late. When that pitcher starts to break his hands out of the mitts, you can't call time then.
Throw over just got away from Woodward.
And Sorensen was going on the delivery. Hooper, excuse me.
Got a huge lead over there. But even a little bit past the cutout earlier.
Wichita State has speedmen now both at the plate and at first base.
Salazar is the catcher tonight because he has the better arm, and Mike Martin was concerned about the running game. Took something off of it, and Randy Young couldn't get it. Mike Martin giving the signals from the dugout. Gene Stevenson giving the signals to Randy Young, the hitter, and Kevin Hooper, the man at first. 1 out, 1 on here in the third. Had a pitch out and then nothing happening.
You know, Mike, that's the first time I've seen a pitch out in this College World Series. You'd think they'd do more of it.
I had one in a game earlier, but there have been very few of them.
And I believe that the base stealers have a good percentage of stolen bases.
Runner goes, and Salazar had the throw tailed toward right field, and Randy Young did a good job after he swung and missed of leaning into the catcher.
Takes a step back and then goes. Really not a good jump at all. He just relies on pure speed. Now, if they make contact, that would be interference. And fortunately, Young got out of the way. A little bit of a screenshot, though.
There are catchers who will see that guy step across, and they'll make sure they make contact.
Step right into him. Right.
Ball's hit in the air down the right field line. Woodward backpedals and makes the catch. So Young is 0 for 2, and Hooper has to stay at second base with 2 out. Runners have had a good time here in Omaha, haven't they?
That's right. A lot of good jumps off the pitchers, not a lot of pitch outs. A lot of pressure put on the catchers.
Travis Wyckoff up with 2 out. He grounded out his only appearance so far in this game. Morgan low outside corner at the knees. Scooby Morgan can be very tough when he's doing what he's doing right now. Keeping the ball down, making it sink, using his changeup.
Mike, we just saw a shot of right field, which is the sun field at this time of day at Rosenblatt Stadium. Right fielder looks directly into the sun setting in the west. That young man should probably get some sunglasses.
I'd say definitely.
And they should know this. I mean, it's easy to see that you've got to put that bill of the hat down real low.
Neto is out there without the shades. High fastball, 2-1 to Travis Wyckoff.
All it takes is one line drive about 20 feet high, and a player losing and a run scoring, it could be the difference in the game.
We've seen several instances out here when the sun does come out, everybody calls timeout and goes to get the shades, but Neto has not done that. That's Hooper at second, 2 gone. Here we're in the Wichita State 3rd inning. Took something off, hit down to Zetch at second base. Another good inning for Scooby Morgan in Florida State. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Seminoles 1-0.
And welcome back to Omaha in the College World Series. The Seminoles up on Wichita State in the bottom of the 3rd, 1-0. Earlier on, you saw a conversation being held with the umpires out front, talking about perhaps lengthening the warm-up pitches for the pitchers prior to them getting ready to pitch. You can see right there Gene Stevenson and Jamie Shoup having the conversation, and they've made the decision to go ahead and allow the pitchers to extend their warm-up pitches beyond the 8 that are required simply because of the weather. It's getting much colder, Mike.
And I think that's a great decision, Larry. Anytime everyone gets together and is concerned about the safety and welfare of the players, you know, I think they're doing what they're supposed to be doing in college athletics.
That's right, and the umpires control the game, and they should be. Line drive hit the left field.
Batto hit it pretty good, but hit it up into that wind, and Wyckoff makes the catch.
And they should be conscious of all the conditions that affect the performance of the players, and as a rule, when there is a drop in temperature or the chill index can affect the players, especially the pitchers, they should be allowed 3 or 4 more warm-up pitches. And it's the same for both teams, so I think it's apropos.
But if you notice, no one's doing anything for the announcers.
That's right.
Rip towards short, 1 hop to Sorensen. 2 quickly gone here in the Seminole 3rd. Adam Farrell bounces out on 1 hop.
We talked about J.D. Drew before the game, that he was an impact player that needed to contribute tonight for the Seminoles, and with the Seminoles leading 1-0. So far, Drew not a factor in this game, except that he did get the sacrifice fly that drove in the first run.
And they would much rather see him up here with the bases empty. can pitch around the guy pretty well.
Why not put him on first base? But you know, the great players always seem to be up with a guy on third and less than 2 out, or the game on the line, and they seem to pop one out of the ballpark. We had the classic confrontation the other day when Florida played Florida State, and Brad Wilkerson, a great young freshman for Florida, was the marquee player, and J.D. Drew for Florida State. Wilkerson ends up hitting a grand slam home run that wins the game, and a come from behind situation for Florida. And in that game, J.D. Drew for the first time went hitless in a College World Series game.
Strike called outside corner at the knees, 3-2. J.D. Drew hit 17 homers a year ago, has surpassed that this year, has 20. Turned on that one, fouled it into the crowd behind the Wichita State dugout.
J.D. Drew does something that great major league hitters like Tony Gwynn and Wade Boggs is. He steps right into the pitch.
Takes it high. J.D. Drew with his 55th walk this year. He's had very good idea of the strike zone and hasn't tried to force anything.
An uncanny knowledge of the strike zone for a sophomore. And knowing him, he appreciates having worked a walk just as much as a single up the middle.
Jeremy Morris hitting behind him with his 87 RBIs this year. Mike Martin said he took too many pitches last year. He is much more aggressive this season. And I think because he knows so much pressure is on him, he's got to go up there hacking.
There's a fine line between knowing the strike zone and swinging at strikes. And there are times when you can get too fine and take strikes that are hittable.
Drew with tremendous speed. They'd like him to learn to steal a little bit better. Technique. And you see him going back to first on the delivery.
And you're listening to a guy whose philosophy was thou shalt not walk. See, he gives him a good static leg kick that time that freezes him.
Snap throw, made it close.
See what happens as a first baseman when you step out there. A lot of times you can block the hand by where you place your foot. Not that we would intentionally do that as first baseman. Just it happens once in a while.
Drew gets the good lead and then leans back toward the bag. Morris takes a strike, 1 and 2.
Well, that's called a one-way lead, and it means that he wants to get a good jump when the ball's hit, and that he's not necessarily going to steal.
Another throw over.
Florida State will hit and run. In that situation, you'd see Drew shorten up towards first base. Get a more balanced lead.
Change of speed outside. 2 and 2 to Morris, who has set an NCAA record this year. 35 doubles. And had a big regional, as you can see. 2 outs, Drew at first. Protecting the outside part of the plate, lofts it down the right side. Long run for everybody, and down into the bullpen. Nobody can get there. Good hustle by Hooper. Hooper's a kid who's going to give you 100% on every play.
Hooper's got good speed, and that ball, when it first went up, was only about 10 feet foul. But the wind carried it right next to the stands. I actually thought Hooper had a good chance when that ball first went up.
Smallest player ever to put on a Wichita State uniform. But he wears it with great pride. And they're very proud to have him, too.
It's not the size of the uniform. It's the heart of the man that's in it. And this young man's got a lot of heart.
Drew runs on the 3-2 pitch, lofted to center field. Young broke back, now coming on, still coming on. The right fielder Stein comes across to make the catch. Morris nearly dumped one into right center field. The wind helped blow it to Stein. This is the 50th anniversary of the College World Series, and 47 have been right here in Omaha. Those folks have only seen one or two, but they're getting an early introduction and will probably be back for many more years to come.
And a couple of young recruits there for the Shockers and for the Seminoles.
Casey Blake will lead it off in the Wichita State 4th inning. Blake by far the hitting star in this series, 5 out of 6, including 1 for 1 tonight. Starting his 165th straight game in a Shocker uniform. Well, I've been impressed by Scooby Morgan. He is pitching up a storm.
And he's doing it with a good pace too. He's got a nice rhythm about him.
They just got to find a way to get Casey Blake out. Nobody else has found a way.
Well, as long as he's up there with nobody on, that's the key. This is the Shockers' opportunity here on the top of the 4th to get back in the game with the heart of their order. Blake, McCullough, and Ryan.
3-1 now to Blake. 4 out of 5, home run, 4 RBIs, and he'll draw a walk here. You're the man. So Casey Blake, who has 19 stolen bases on the year and 20 tries, trots down to first base. And McCullough, who has excellent power, comes up.
Like we just saw in the update there that Albert Bell was suspended. And I think it's a consensus from all of us who know and love the game that something had to be done after his flagrant elbow the other night.
Couldn't agree with you more.
I think sometimes players don't realize that God gave us the talent to play this great game and the opportunity to entertain millions of people and to earn a very good living and to have wonderful memories. And if we abuse it, then we have to be treated as if we have done something as we would do in society and have to be punished for it.
This one's hit hard toward left center field. Morris going back. One hop over the wall. Ground rule double. It's actually a break for Florida State because Casey Blake has to stop at third.
Let's take a look at McCullough's swing. Low fastball. He just nails it to left center. And Mike's right. This is a break for the Seminoles, because if that ball had hit the wall, Blake would have scored easily.
Runners at second and third. Nobody out now. And Mike Martin wants to come out to talk to Scooby Morgan. Steve, back to the point you just made a moment ago. What a concept. Athletes taking individual responsibility for their actions.
Taking responsibility, as we do in life, we should do it in our professions, and especially in the entertainment profession. And baseball and football and basketball surely is, from my standpoint. You know, you see athletes say that they don't want to be role models. It's okay if they're heroes. Heroes are for the moment, and it's fine if they hit a home run or get a three-point shot or score a touchdown and get the adulation. But what about the times that we've seen certain basketball players who may elbow and knock people down or spit on the fans, who say they want to be a responsible athlete, and then you look at the playground and you see kids elbowing and knocking people down, and the athlete wonders, well, I wonder where they picked that up.
Well, they're role models whether they want to be or not.
Sure. I do a lot of speaking, and I always talk about heroes and role models, and I always say heroes are for the moment and role models are for all time, day in and day out, setting a positive example.
Perfect. Jeff Ryan takes a fastball in there at the knees for a strike called. He struck out swinging in the second inning. Has a chance to pick up two teammates right here in the fourth.
Now with no outs, he's got to try to hit that ball the opposite way or get the ball in the air. This is a sacrifice situation. If you can hit the ball to the right side, you can get one run in and get the runner over. If you get it through, you get a couple RBIs.
Swing and a miss, strike two. The infield is back. They'll give up a run to get the out.
Let's take a look at this swing. Lifts the front leg up and takes a big, long swing. Several shockers this evening, not taking good, quick swings.
Ooh, fastball, plunked him. And Scooby Morgan really upset. He had him 1-2, made him look bad, and then tried to get him with a fastball and plunked him right between the shoulder blades.
Let's take a look at Morgan now. He's an aggressive pitcher, wants to pitch inside now, being ahead in the count, and hits him right in the left latissimus here. Goes into the pitch and gets hit. Now that loads the bases. Morgan mad at himself. Stein aching.
Jerry Stein with the bases loaded, nobody out. He was a strikeout victim. Misses inside with a curveball.
Stein has to really love this situation. College World Series, bases loaded, nobody out, down by a run.
Throw back to second base, it gets away, and Casey Blake is going to score. We're tied at 1.
Well, this inning has disintegrated for Morgan, and now without pivoting around and throwing, he tries to make a quick flip, throws the ball away for an error, and the run scores.
Batto had the runner dive right into the area where he's trying to catch the ball. It's an error on Scooby Morgan on the throw. Still nobody out. A run home, runners at first and second. And 1-0 to Jerry Stein. Crossfire called strike.
We talked about how so well Scooby Morgan was throwing to this point.
A change in a heartbeat, can it? High ball two as Stein squared around to sacrifice.
Gene Stevenson will sacrifice. He will try to bunt for a hit to get the runners over. He will hit and run.
That's Randy Niles in the Florida State bullpen getting heated up.
Seminoles defense, third baseman in, looking for the bunt.
Line to left. Caught by Morris. Got a chance at second base. Throws it away. Backed up by Woodward. Nice play by Woodward to back up the errant throw from Morris, who made the fine running catch. Tried to throw off the wrong foot, it appeared, and gunned it past second.
Stein hits a line shot, a slicing shot to left now. Woodward comes in. Morris comes in, makes the throw, a wild throw, off balance throw, and Woodward does a great job of backing up and saving the advancing runner.
Could have been runners at second and third very easily. As it is first and second with one out for Nathan Reese. Reese grounded out to Batto in the second inning.
We could just see that ball rattling around down by the bullpen.
And all at once, Scooby Morgan's stuff doesn't look quite as commanding.
Morgan doesn't seem to be as effective from a stretch as he is from a windup. Probably loses about 5 miles per hour from contrast of a stretch to a windup.
That one's foul tipped off the catcher. 1-1 to Nathan Reese. We're in the top of the fourth. Wichita State and Florida State tied at 1. This is an elimination game at the College World Series. Swing and a miss. You see that fastball at 82, and that's the zone they want him in. Anything under 84 is more effective for him.
We had a look before at the Shocker dugouts. Everybody's sitting back, waiting for something to happen. Now they're on the front steps. They sense a chance to get back in this game.
1-2 hit off of Morgan's glove. Everybody's going to be safe on this one. Morgan able to get the glove down to get a piece of it. But it's an infield hit.
Strange things happening for Morgan now. He throws a changeup down. Good pitch. The ball's hit right back to him. Goes off the heel of his glove, off the inside of his thigh, and now it goes into no man's land. And Reese easily makes first base.
If he fields that cleanly with the catcher running, it's an easy double play.
Easy double play. Gets him by 3 steps.
Zach Sorensen, the shortstop, who was robbed by Faroux his first time up. Bases loaded, 1 out. "20 pitches this inning for Scooby Morgan. Hit to third. Faroux to second for 1 on the first double play. They get out of the inning. So Adam Faroux has turned in a couple of big defensive plays for the Seminoles. But Wichita State gets on the board. We're tied at 1. Tied at 1 here at the College World Series. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Florida State will be coming up. Let's take a look at the brackets. Miami undefeated in their bracket, 2-0. Alabama and Clemson have 1-1 records, and we'll meet to see which one of those teams is eliminated. Oklahoma State is already gone, and the 50th anniversary continues tomorrow. We'll have the doubleheader: Clemson, Alabama, Florida against the Florida State and Wichita State winner tonight. And that game will come to you at 7:30 Eastern tomorrow night, and he's checking to see if both games are on tomorrow.
He's checking the brackets.
Scott Zetch will lead it off in the bottom of the 4th. Forrell, who had to go down to the bullpen area and warm up during that extended inning on a chilly night. We may not set another attendance record tonight.
A little sparser tonight. Looks like about 15 to 16,000.
Zetz hits it high in the air down the right field line, blown foul into the stands. Most people have already put their winter stuff away, and they're going to have to go to the closet and dig it out tonight. Yeah, we're nice and toasty in certain places.
The award-winning ESPN team, always prepared.
Boy, this crew works hard out here. I tell you, this is so much fun for us. But the crew comes out here at 10 o'clock in the morning, leaves at 1 o'clock in the morning, lined off the glove of Batto. Excuse me, off the glove of Sorensen, and it's a base hit for Scott Zetch.
Zetch takes this fastball in and hooks the ball. Sorensen probably should have had it. He really didn't have to extend himself. I think he was closer to the ball than he anticipated.
And they are going to rule that an error on Zach Sorensen.
The rule of thumb, anytime you really have to leave your feet or really extend yourself. That time, I think it fooled him.
Sprague comes out 0 for 1. That's the 3rd Wichita State error tonight.
I think both of us said the team that plays the best defense is going to win this game. Elimination games usually see a lot of pressure on both teams, and the team that is able to focus and play steady defense usually wins.
And especially with this year's field, these are certainly among 8 of the best 10 teams in the country. 7 of the teams here were #1 seeds in the regionals. And good teams, if you give them enough opportunities, they're going to beat you.
They'll take advantage of it. Most of these teams have power, so if you make an error and get a guy on base, invariably what happens is somebody will pop one out for a 2 or 3 home run and really punish you.
Throw over to first against Zetch, who has stolen 26 out of 35. Most times in college ball, somebody that has 26 steals has not been thrown out 9 times. Another throw made it closer. Zetch really had to scramble back. The first baseman, Adam McCullough, was already coming off the bag.
As a first baseman, you never want to get picked off like that.
Yeah.
It almost happened once, and I learned I'm going to wait till that ball's on the way to home before I come off.
Sprague lines it right to Sorensen. Throw back to first. Double play. That's the second line drive double play the Seminoles have hit into tonight. Sorensen started that one. Hooper started the other one.
And there is atonement for an error. And here Sorensen comes back, makes a nice stretch, and guns it to first base for the double play.
So 2 outs quickly here for Florida State. As you see, Zetch didn't have a chance. This one's hitting the air. Stein down the right field line. Long run. It's a fair ball. Stein comes up throwing and holds it to a single. Didn't have a chance with the wind, but it was kind enough to Salazar not to blow it foul.
More of a little flare down the right field line, and it bit. Stein was able to catch up with it.
Florida State, a much improved hitting team over a year ago. Their average 324 is compared to 293. In fact, they've averaged nearly 11 hits a game this year. We only have 3 so far in this one. Neto walked. Another pop up off the right side. McCullough toward the stands, has room, makes the catch. That's the end of 4, the elimination game in the College World Series. We are tied at 1. We'll go to the top of the 5th here in Omaha. Wichita State and Florida State tied at 1. Earlier today in Game 7, the Florida Gators got out to a hot start with a leadoff home run from junior David Eckstein in the first inning. Then with LSU leading 4-3 in the 7th, Jason Williams made this great play to thwart a Florida rally. Then the Tiger Bats took over, led by Chad Cooley's 2-run homer. LSU scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th and cruised to a 9-4 victory. And LSU, the undefeated team in this bracket. LSU and Miami, the only teams at 2-0 right now here in Omaha.
And Mike, all 3 of those home runs to right field. The home run field at this Rosenblatt Stadium.
Kevin Hooper 3 for 5 in the College World Series in 2 games. Leads it off. He's 1 for 1 tonight. Singled. One of the most enjoyable things about coming out here is watch guys like Kevin Hooper hitting ninth. You don't expect him to be a star, and he has been. There seems to be one on every team that really rises to the occasion.
How much does he weigh?
He's listed at 129. I think that's with an anvil in his back pocket.
At the start of the season.
Yeah, they swear he's up to 140 pounds now, but I think the mystique is better if he's still 129.
Sure, it sounds much better. We can market him better at 129.
That's right. (3-0) called strike on the corner. See how Morgan does in this inning after sailing along for 3 and then struggling so badly in the 4th. Got another fastball in there.
Well, he was given a reprieve with that great double play to end the 4th.
Hit toward the hole. Going to be a long throw. Not in time. Hooper can run. Kevin Hooper is 2 for 2. Batto made a good throw. Would have had a slower runner, but Hooper can motor.
Take a look at Hooper's swing. He gets top of the ball, but he gets out of the batter's box. He accelerates out of that batter's box very well. And beats it by a step.
Good base runner for Randy Young, who has had no success tonight. He's 0 for 2. And he's the guy that Florida State was desperate to keep off the bases because he's the nation's leader in stolen bases.
Kevin Hooper's got that Opie look.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
He's got to be the winner in the Ron Howard lookalike contest.
Right.
I'll take him on my team, though.
He's a gamer.
Got a big lead, has to dive back, and it was close. Good snap throw from Morgan.
Shocker's very good at taking one-way leads at first base, getting good length away from the bag.
Hooper's going. Ball's hit on the ground towards second base. Zetch has only one play. Gets Young at first. Travis Wyckoff stands in 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice.
Like Gene Stevenson that time, moving Hooper was a good play. He likes to keep his speed moving on the base pass, and that took him out of a double play and put a runner in scoring position.
Lead run at second in the person of Hooper. We're in the Wichita State top half of the 5th. Breaking pitch hangs high.
And that's the kind of pitch Scooby Morgan can't throw too many of. He won't get away with that pitch because it's only in the 70s as far as velocity. He's got to keep the ball down.
That one was ticked foul, 2-1.
Good pitch for Travis Wyckoff to hit that time. He missed his pitch.
One on, one out, 2-1 to Wyckoff, the senior from Arkansas City, Kansas. Inside, got away from the catcher, or hit him, excuse me. Second hit batsman for Scooby Morgan.
Every now and then, Scooby Morgan lets a pitch slip away, and invariably what happens is he plunks one of the hitters. See, there's the changeup, three-finger change, and gets him right in the foot. Let's take a look, see where it hits. Ah, no, got him out in the leg. Travis didn't make a whole lot of effort to get out of the way of that ball because he knew
he's not facing Nolan Ryan.
That's right.
It's not like he's going to break 3 bones when he hits you.
Not a lot of anxiety about getting hit.
Casey Blake, 5 out of 6 in the series, 1 for 1 tonight, also walked. Runners aboard with 1 out. Ripped, foul ball. And Gene Stevenson is going to go right out to third base umpire Randy Crystal.
Now there's no love lost between these two men.
He's saying, didn't that one go over the bag?
And Stevenson said Crystal doesn't have a lot of tolerance for him, so he's got to be careful now. Let's take a look at this great camera angle. Watch the ball go down the line. It's a little tough to see. What do you think?
I couldn't tell, honestly.
Yeah, a little tough to see.
And I'm not trying to bail out on you, partner. I'd be happy to give you my opinion, but I just couldn't see it.
Well, from what I saw, I thought it went over the bag. I thought it went over the outside part of the bag. But the umpire saw differently.
Missed outside, 1-1.
The veteran umpire.
Gene Stevenson and umpire Crystal had an earlier confrontation in this series on a play at the plate. where an Oklahoma State runner was called out. I think the replay certainly verified the umpire's call on that one.
Randy Crystal, experienced veteran College World Series umpire.
1-1, well outside on a fastball, 2-1. And Crystal also had a major controversy about a call this afternoon where the replay showed he was incorrect on a call at the plate. Runner was never tagged.
Very difficult play in which there was a one-hop throw at the plate. Lanier caught the ball but didn't have a chance to make the tag, just lifted it up.
This is from the other night. Watch the catcher's foot and the hand appear to go under it, and then the other hand crossing the plate. And the most experienced umpire on the crew here at the College World Series, and from a couple of other angles, it showed he was correct on that one. Blocked in the dirt. Good job by Salazar. Never being one not to criticize umpires, I will say this: I would much rather have my job than his. I think his is a lot harder.
That's right. Your skills are bare to the world.
3-2 to Blake. Morgan needs to be careful to this young man who is on a tear. He's made 1 out in 2 games in the College World Series. And has reached base every time. Throw back to second base. Reached on an error the only time he didn't get a base hit or a walk.
With 1 out, bases first and second, runners there, and a full count. I wouldn't be surprised if Gene Stevenson sends his speedy runners.
And he does. And it's lined to center field. J.D. Drew backed up, then came in, went back, and gets the throw in. Took a step in, and that is usually the kiss of death for an outfielder on a line drive. If you take the first step in, you can be meat out there.
We talked about his athleticism, and now more than at any time in this College World Series, he recovered in time to make a fully stretched catch and get the ball back in. That could have been disastrous for the Seminoles.
Casey Blake hit it on the nose.
I can't believe that ball didn't go over his head.
Adam McCullough, who is 1 for 2 now with 2 outs and 2 runners on. Had a ground rule double to left center that he really starched his last trip. Morgan again turns around to throw to second. Nobody there.
This is what speed will do to you. It forces Morgan to keep faking back to second, throwing a lot of pitches to first.
Missed outside.
Wears a pitcher out, mentally more than physical.
I was just going to ask you, don't you think there's too much of that, not only here but at every level of baseball?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, it's too much. It's better to get the sign and just deliver it. Don't fool around. You give the catcher a chance to throw the guy out. Once in a while, just hesitate. You know, take a little time before you deliver. That breaks up the pattern.
Last pitch looked like a real good change.
Got a nice circle change.
He's been perfect in postseason and has only allowed 1 run into the 5th inning. This one's hit in the air to right center. Neto, a step from the track, makes the catch. The rally is over. Blake, who had a screamer to center field, the reaction to the catch by J.D. Drew. Bottom of the 5th inning, Florida State coming up in a 1-1 tie with Wichita State. Remember, at the top of the broadcast, gee, I hope those are masks. At the top of the broadcast, we talked about Gene Stevenson's desire tonight to get 5 innings out of Steve Forrell, his starting pitcher. so he can go to his bullpen. Well, right now we're going to the bottom of the 5th, and Forel had a rugged start, but since then he's done really, really well. Neto, fly ball, straightaway right field. Stein makes the catch, 1 pitch and 1 out. Braden Looper, the premier relief pitcher in the country. Gene Stevenson said he would consider bringing him in for 4 innings today. But now, do you think again, since Forel is in a 1-1 game and pitching well?
Well, you let him keep going as long as he's doing well. He's nice and loose, doesn't seem to have slacked off his fastball any. Breaking ball still nice and sharp. The longer you can wait, the better off you are.
Base hit to left. 1 out and 1 on, and there goes Looper to get warmed up in the Florida State bullpen.
Oh, I think he's warm. He's warmed up for a couple innings down there. Now he's got to get hot now, because Gene Stevenson knows that it can go fast. The Seminole team, a very good hitting team.
Brooks Batto got his first base hit of the College World Series, and now Faroux comes up with 1 out. He is 1 for 2.
And what we're approaching is the real heart and power of the order in Drew and Morris.
In the air to shallow left center. And Randy Young will make the catch. Faroux has gone quickly, and Drew comes up with a man aboard and 2 out. 20,251 our attendance tonight, and a tip of the cap to the 20,251 who came out and braved a possible snowstorm to see this one. It's cold out here,
but it looks so comfortable on TV.
Yeah. Oh, if we were back at the hotel, I'd probably think it was comfortable too, but it's a little chilly.
I remember early in the season seeing the Dodgers and Cubs playing on a nice sunny day. Unfortunately, the chill index was 18.
Runner goes, and they can't handle a pitch in the dirt. Stolen base for Batto, and that'll put him in scoring position for J.D. Drew.
Both teams do the same thing with their speed men. They'll let them run. They'll let them choose their spots, and here's a good indication. That's about a 57-foot breaking ball. No chance for Nathan Reese.
15th stolen base of the year for Brooks Batto, putting him down at second with 2 gone and giving Drew a chance for another RBI. He got the only Seminole RBI first inning with a sacrifice fly to center field. Drew hits it on the ground, picked by McCullough, and he'll get to play at first. The Seminoles go quietly in the 5th. We played 5 full. It's 1-1. Dennis Rodman is here to see the ball game. We're tied at 1 as we go to the 6th. Let's take a look at. I thought he was otherwise occupied, but I guess not. In the second bracket, LSU, the undefeated club at 2-0. Florida falls to 1-1 this afternoon, and the Gators will play the winner of our game tonight, Florida State and Wichita State. And that comes on at 7:30 tomorrow night. At 3:30 in the afternoon, you'll see Clemson and Alabama. Tigers staying alive with that pitching. We're at beautiful Rosenblatt Stadium, and there's the story direct from the scoreboard. 9 hits between the 2 teams and only 2 runs to show for it. Scooby Morgan starts off Jeff Ryan with a ball outside. Ryan 0 for 1, struck out and then plunked.
Mike, I think both teams have gotten the most out of their starting pitchers, and both of them going into the 6th inning. I talked to Mike Martin and Gene Stevenson. Both said if we can just get them to the 5th, then we'll get some of our big relievers in there.
Morgan misses outside, 3-1. You have to think the advantage would swing in a tie ball game late in the game with Wichita State because Looper at times can simply be unhittable.
He can be totally dominated.
Base hit. Jeff Ryan, line drive to right. So he starts the Wichita State sixth with a single.
It's the third inning now that Scooby Morgan has let the first batter get on base. A lot of stress on his defense.
Ryan does not run that well at first, but Stein, the hitter, does. Struck out and lined out. His average is at .345, and he is 1 for 5 in the College World Series. No indication that he might be sacrificing. Gene Stevenson running through the signals for Stein, who is peering down intently to his coach.
Stein's a good competitor, covers the whole plate.
Now he squares around, drops it right in front of the plate, and rolls foul. 0-2 on Stein.
Almost a perfect bunt that time. Just got a little bit of left to right spin on it. Caught the dirt and kicked just foul.
It's funny, you'll see guys with better fundamentals in college baseball than you will see in the major leagues. At least by the time they get there, they don't display them anymore.
Well, that's what we talked about, the big debate over whether to sign out of high school professionally or wait till after your junior year in college. And I'm a big fan of 3 years at a quality school like Florida State or Wichita State or Alabama or LSU or any of the teams here or any of another 30 or 40 teams around the country. Gives you a great fundamental education, not only scholastically but in baseball.
1-2 to Stein. Straightaway center for J.D. Drew.
Like I usually get about 10 calls on advice whether to, should I sign, should my son sign out of high school, or should he go to college? And every time I will tell him to go to college.
Great.
Just pays off every time. Tries to call time. We had this problem before, and the umpire called time as the pitcher started to deliver. Stein says, why didn't you call time? You did it before.
Sorry.
But you'll ask these coaches. The coaches say, well, I've talked to my players, and not a one has ever regretted going to college instead of signing out of high school.
Don't know how you could. I mean, if you're good, all you're going to do is get better in college, and baseball's still going to be there for you.
You're just going to mature physically and mentally and spiritually and scholastically. You're just going to be a better all-around person, regardless if you ever make it to the professional ranks or not.
Nathan Reese is the hitter with 1 out. Reese 1 for 2, singled the last time up, knocked it off Morgan's glove as he hit it right back through the box. Morgan throws over again.
It's a good view of the closed stance by Nathan Reese. I'm a big advocate of closed stance, parallel stance, closed stances. I believe you stay out on the pitch better. You end up approaching the pitcher better. And it forces you to use your hands on the inside pitch instead of your arms. See that front toe is turned in. The reason he does that is because he probably had a problem pulling out too much, stepping in the bucket.
Morgan concentrating on the DH Ryan over at first, who has stolen 3 bases this year.
And Nathan Reese also adjusting to the pitcher, knowing that he doesn't throw that hard, has moved up in the batter's box. And what this will do is he'll pick up that changeup before it really starts to sink. See that front left foot? Tony Gwynn does that. And he could be the best hitter in all of baseball.
Slaps it one out of the strike zone to stay alive and knocks it foul.
Now, I'm not saying that as closed a stance as this is the ultimate stance. I think about Front foot about 6 inches ahead of the back foot is probably the ultimate. But take a look at this. Now he's able to cover the plate and protect his runner, where if he would have been back with his back foot on the line, he never would have touched that ball. Probably would have struck out. A little polish on those shoes after the game.
The 1-1 hit hard but foul into the stands down right field. 1 and 2 to Nathan Reese.
Polish is not a big item in the rooms of college students.
No, absolutely not. Empty pizza boxes is far more important than shoe polish.
Take a piece of that old pepperoni and go over those brohams.
Morgan staying away from Nathan Reese, who is spoiling them into foul territory, and a souvenir.
Couple of twins right there. Did you see those guys? They look awfully similar. It's a pretty good battle between Reese and Morgan.
The 1-2 just missed the corner. Wrapped the breaking ball around the plate. Two to Reese, a junior from Shawnee Mission, Kansas. Home of the NCAA.
Normally the runner would be going to Ryan, not with a lot of speed.
And Reese just hacked at a high one.
Well, he's accomplishing a few things here. Number one, he's really getting a good gauge on the timing of Morgan's pitches, and he's wearing them out. He's forced him to throw 7 or 8 pitches now.
We certainly expanded the strike zone up around the bill of his cap, a foot outside.
Getting wider as we speak.
Morgan has thrown 94 pitches so far tonight. We're in the 6th. Went 9 innings in the ACC tournament, so he is capable of throwing a lot of pitches, and with an 82-mile-an-hour fastball, doesn't put a great deal of strain on his arm.
Well, as you can see by the bullpen, Mike Martin has a lot of faith in this young man that he calls his horse of the staff.
3-2 to Nathan Reese. Let's see if they run Ryan to stay out of the double play. Morgan may have only thrown 80-some pitches, but he's thrown about half that many to first and second base. Ball 4. So good job by Nathan Reese. Fouled away several pitches and finally worked the walk.
If Wichita State scores this inning, you can give this man right here a lot of credit, because he really worked hard for this walk. He fought off 4 or 5 pitches. The ball's legitimately outside. And he's worked Ryan into a scoring position with 1 out.
Zach Sorensen has grounded twice to Farrow, who robbed him the first time up of a base hit.
Morgan comes back with a nice slider on the outside corner.
Runners in scoring position, hitting 166. One and 1 to Sorensen. He's badly outside. 2-1.
Scooby Morgan just is not going to throw the ball inside. He hasn't thrown a pitch inside in several hitters now.
The wind has freshened again, blowing to right.
Sorensen with not very much power.
Philosophically, would you come in this situation? I mean, you're going to have to hit it a ton to left to hit a home run.
Oh, sure. The outfield has done a good job of scouting. Each one of these teams has scouted the opposition very well. So right field is playing in to take the line drive so that we can have a chance at the plate.
And Morgan did come inside, but way off the plate. He has now reached 100 pitches. More importantly, he's 3-1 to the hitter Sorensen. Strike called on the corner.
When you've got a 3-1 count, you guys got guys on first and second. You know that the pitcher has to come in. You've got to be ready to swing the bat. There's an instance right there where you can be too fine at the plate. Be too patient.
Missed with a 3-2. They're loaded for Kevin Hooper. Chris Chavez is the relief pitcher heating up for Florida State.
Well, Wichita State has a lot going for them now. They've got Hooper up and Looper ready, so this could be a big inning for the Shockers.
Hooper singled to center, stole second, and beat out a ground ball in the 5th inning. He is 2 for 2 and 4 for 6 in the College World Series. Sitting 667, which is 5 times his current weight.
Well, pound for pound, he's been the best player in this College World Series so far, even if his team is 0-1.
Absolutely.
Because he has really done everything he can to help his team.
And here comes Mike Morgan, or Mike Martin, excuse me, to talk to Scooby Morgan.
I said that the other night. I was getting former pitchers confused and everything.
Gene Stevenson waiting to see what's going to happen, talking with Hooper. Mike Martin has that calm demeanor. Makes it very easy for him to work with pitchers. He can settle kids down when they're a little nervous.
He's got a little bit of Bear Bryant in him too. He goes out there. He had a message that he wanted to deliver. He's a confidence builder. Probably told him to relax, keep that ball down, don't give in to the hitters.
Morgan has scattered those 6 hits, allowed only 1 run. But he's getting in trouble with bases on balls. He's also hit 2 batters. Now Hooper with 1 out. Can the little man deliver again? Outside, ball 1. Jeff Ryan is down at 3rd. The catcher Nathan Reese at 2nd, neither with great speed. Sorensen runs pretty well at 1st.
Hooper's got to try to get the ball in the air now to center. Hit the ball to the right side.
In the air but foul back in the stands. 1-1.
Took a good inside out swing that time. That's why we like this young man so much. He knows how to play the game. He knows what he has to do in this situation.
If he can get it in the air to right, he takes advantage of the wind. 1-1 misses outside.
That was a good example of Scooby Morgan overthrowing that time, and it's understandable in this situation with bases loaded and 1 out.
25 pitches this inning so far for senior Scooby Morgan.
This is one instant where you really shouldn't overthrow. You should underthrow. You should try to take more off the ball, sink it, keep your changeup down, try to get that ground ball.
2-1 misses outside. 3-1 with the bases loaded and 1 out.
Gene Stevenson looked at Hooper and gave him a little box sign with his hands, meaning make sure that it's a good strike.
Morgan's got to come in there, and does.
No box sign now. He wants him to cover the plate. Hooper can do that.
3-2 on the way. Foul away. Wasted a good pitch.
Scooby Morgan coming back in again, trying to jam Hooper. It's a pretty good matchup here.
Hooper made the freshman All-American first team made by Collegiate Baseball.
He's going to make contact.
To second base. He only played at first with a pitcher covering, and they throw it away. It's in the dugout. 2-run score. Hooper delivers. Just pounded it into the ground. Certainly got the 1-run home, and then the throw went into the dugout. Now the question is going to be where the runner was, Zach Sorensen, when the ball went into the dugout.
Let's take a look. We said Hooper was going to put in play, and he hits a chopper to the right side over the first baseman's head. The run scores easily. Now you've got to hit a moving pitcher who got to the bag, just missed the ball. Scooby Morgan just missed it.
So 1 run scores on the ground ball, a 2nd run scores on the throwing error, or on the error, however it's charged. And Hooper, the hero again, gets the job done. Chavez will come on in relief of Scooby Morgan here in the 6th. We'll check out the pitching change when we come back. 3-1 Wichita State. 3-1 Wichita State, top of the 6th, and Chris Chavez comes on to pitch. 4-0 with 1 save. Nice earned run average, and maybe the most critical statistic for him right now is he has struck out 10 of the last 16 men he has faced. 56 strikeouts overall in 43 innings pitched, and the Seminoles could use a strikeout right now. Scooby Morgan goes to right field. Replacing Steve Netto. Morgan still responsible for the runners at 2nd and 3rd. Went 5 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 of the 3 runs are earned, walked 3, hit a couple, and struck out 2. But it was the last play when he covered first and did not catch the baseball that was his undoing. And I did not see the official ruling on the last play. Still only have 1 error posted against FSU. And apparently they are still discussing it.
Mike, it looked like it wasn't a bad throw at all, that it should have been handled. It's always the toughest play when a pitcher has to go over and cover the bag. In that case, he couldn't round and come up the line towards the bag. He had to go right to it, stop, and try to field the ball. Still a good competitive performance by Scooby Morgan. Let's take a look at Hooper. On a 3-2 count, he hits a hopper over first base. Now watch Morgan come over, get to the bag, and just miss the ball.
Well, they have given the error to Zetch, we understand. It's not a base hit, an RBI for Hooper, but Zetch's throw is right there. It's a tough error on the second baseman. And now Mike Martin had been talking to the umpire, and now Gene Stevenson talking to the umpire, trying to figure out the batting order with the changes that Mike Martin has made to send the pitcher out to right field. So now Gene Stevenson has his lineup card correct. And we'll go back to action with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Still only 1 out in the top of the order, Randy Young. Wichita State with a chance for a lot of breathing room here. Already scored 2. And a base hit could put them up by 4. The outfield quite shallow for Young. Strike call.
Chavez with a good slider, throws a sinker and a curveball.
Pitch is outside. But we also understand the DH Jeff Sprague has now gone to first, which takes Matt Woodward out of the ball game. So Woodward and Neto sit down. Breaking pitch popped up. Sprague toward the dugout, doesn't have room. 1-2 to Randy Young.
Randy Young has not gotten on base this evening, and he's the young man that leads the nation in stolen bases with 66.
That was a major concern for Mike Martin, and of course Gene Stevenson of Wichita State has relied on Young's base running all year long. Struck him out. Chavez has now fanned 11 of the last 17 hitters he's come up against.
Young just didn't look comfortable at all this at bat. Chavez with a good tight slider. Take a look at the rotation on that. Ball is not a strike. Forces Young to go after it for strike 3.
That had some real nice bite on it. Down and out. No swing on the appeal from Travis Wyckoff.
Mike, even though Wichita State has 6 hits, they really haven't swung the bat very well tonight.
No.
A lot of long swings and not a lot of real aggressive attacking swings.
Chavez sailed one there. And Zach Sorensen down at third. And Kevin Hooper down at second base. Now with 2 outs and 2 home in the Wichita State 6th. Missed with a breaking ball. 3-0. Wyckoff has not reached tonight until he was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Grounded out twice. 3-0 is in there at the knees.
Travis Wyckoff, who pitched in the 1993 championship game as a freshman. Very experienced, shocker.
Beautiful breaking ball.
Another pitch, very hittable. Wichita State a little tentative this evening.
And Wyckoff's a .405 hitter. He's normally not like that. Breaking ball in the corner, called strike 3. So Chavez comes out of the bullpen and fans both many faces to get out of a jam. But it's still 3-1 Wichita State. Steve Garvey and I are up here in the booth. We're having a bidding war on that blanket. So far, we're up to $80, ma'am, if you'd like to send that thing up here.
Secretariat wore that in his final race.
Doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I like the smell of the victory.
Forel stays in as the pitcher with Looper standing by, and Morris fouls it back. Braden Looper with that 94 and 95 mile an hour fastball on an assortment of other pitches. Certain first round draft choice later this week in the Major League Draft.
Exciting player to watch. Good size. Really understands how to pitch.
In the bottom of the 6th, Morris fouls that one out of play. He is 1 for 2 tonight. Singled his first time up to left center. The momentum has shifted to the Shockers of Wichita State. Just reached out, slapped it to right, but right at Jerry Stein.
This is a great example of an aluminum bat. He just reaches out, extends himself, and hits a line shot to right field. Look at that. That wasn't even a lot of bat speed.
No.
That was a ricochet off a decent fastball, not a great one.
Scott Zetch against Forel. That's hit harder and up the middle for a base hit for Scott Zetch. He's now 2 for 3.
Scott fights this ball off. It's a nice humpback liner to center field. Good use of his hands that time. Finally gets a hit, frustrated the previous 2 at bats.
And now here comes Gene Stevenson. It may be time for baseball's premier relief pitcher on the college level. See if he's going to make a move or just give Looper a couple of more pitches in the bullpen.
Well, I think Gene Stevenson said to himself, well, I'm going to go with Forel until the winning or tying run comes to the plate. And of course, with a runner on first base, the next batter would be the tying run. So Gene's not saying much. Sounding pretty proud of you. Waiting for the umpire to come up and say, make a decision. Well, you know, I've been thinking. How's the family? Everybody well back home?
Still
I
trying
want
to
get a
make
little
up
more
my mind.
flavor out of this gum, and then I'm going to make the decision. Those guys are chomping right there. That's
Yes,
not
they
chewing,
are.
that's chomping. Come on, Gene, talk to me.
And here comes Braden Looper. Stay with us. You're going to see some stuff from the arm of that young man. 3-1 Shockers. Down through the years of the College World Series, playing hurt has become commonplace. Then there's Wichita State's Bryant Winslow, one of our 50-year stories. The last few weeks of the '89 season, he played with an injured shoulder, a pulled groin, and a sore elbow. Then he suffered a hairline stress fracture in his right leg. But he played every game in Omaha, even with a noticeable limp and pain showing on his face. Only a first base collision in the championship game finally forced Winslow out of action. But the Shockers went on to win their first national title. You gotta love it.
He's a gamer. And this young man that's on the mound right now is a gamer. Braden Looper, 4-0, 12 saves. Take a look at that earned run average, 1.16. Strikeouts to inning pitched, over 1 per inning. No home runs. Excellent strikeout to base on ball ratio.
Made everybody's first team. Also made the Missouri Valley Conference academic first team. Throw the ball as high as 98 miles an hour, usually in the 93 to 95 range. Update you on some of the changes that Florida State made. Morgan went from pitcher to right field. Chavez came in as the pitcher. Sprague ended up going from the DH slot to first base, so you lose the DH. And they'll have to make a decision whether to let Chavez hit for himself or more probably bring up a pinch hitter.
If they're behind, I'm quite sure they will, but Chavez, with 2 strikeouts last inning, looked very, very good on the mound.
1 on, 1 out. Sprague is 0 for 2, grounded out and lined into a double play.
If you're a hitter, you've got to turn it up a notch now on Braden Looper. Difference between Forel and Looper is probably going to be about 15 miles per hour.
Snap throw over, and Zetch had to dive back. Sprague only has 2 home runs this year, but one was a game winner over Stanford in the regional in the 9th inning. And here are all the Jugs guns for Looper. chopped wide of third. The shortstop Sorensen has to make the play and throws across to get the out at first as Zetch goes into second base. Blake tried to get there from third, realized he couldn't, and backed off.
We'll take a look. The Sprague gets the bat on the ball and just chops it. There was no chance at second base, and he's got to hurry the throw to first. He gets him by a couple steps.
That leaves it up to Salazar. With 2 outs and a runner at second, we're in the bottom of the 6th. Wichita State with a 2-run lead. Salazar 1 for 2. Had a single to right his last time up. Has another single to right. Zetch got a late start. Here comes Stein's throw to the plate, and he is out. Stein threw a strike, and Nathan Reese could have adjusted the tools of ignorance before he made the tag. End of 6, 3-1 Wichita State. 3-1 Wichita State, and on that base hit, Scott Zetch didn't exactly take off like a rocket.
Well, he got the early sign from the third base coach once they saw it go into right field. Watch third base coach wave. Now as he comes around, he catches the front part of the bag and it slows him down. Now in college baseball you can't run into the catcher, so he tries to go around. He gets nailed. Slows down, tries to go around, trips, falls, stumbles, gets tagged, out to end the inning.
And they do that to prevent what can be major injuries. The same situation at second base on double plays. Well, I don't care how big you are. You got to have a lot of guts as a catcher to stand in there, and when the freight train's coming down the third baseline, to stand on the tracks and take it.
I've seen some real bone-crushing collisions at home plate, and I've seen some catchers deliver them too.
Yes, sir.
Mike Scioscia, one of the best I've ever seen at blocking the plate, hurt many a guy. Johnny Bench was very good.
Casey Blake will lead it off in the 7th. He's 1 for 2, lined to J.D. Drew his last time up. Upset that he didn't get another hit. He's 5 for 7 in the College World Series.
Can never have enough.
Excuse me, he's 1 for 2 and a walk. No, you can never have enough hits, can you?
Yeah. Want more and more.
Like fudge.
There's Reese, did a good job at tagging Zetch that time.
Chavez stays on to pitch. Chavez got a pretty good looking arm too. Redshirt freshman from Pensacola, Florida. Ouch. Fortunately, that was the breaking ball.
He cast that one out there, and it didn't hit any water that time. That's one where it just gets away, and sometimes that happens on evenings like this, that you get a little chill index down in the 50s, and the ball gets a little glassy, and I think he just lost the feel of that ball.
3 Wichita State batters have been hit tonight, and Mike Morgan visits the mound.
Would have been a nice night for a kickoff. Everybody nice sweatshirts.
Yes, sir.
Little windbreakers. Florida State fans a little solemn at this point. We're into the 7th inning of what's been an interesting game. Not very well played, but very interesting. Wichita State leading 3-1.
McCullough up with Blake at first, and a fastball paints the corner.
You know, Mike, the bad news for Florida State last inning was they didn't score. The good news is Chavez is still on the mound. He's thrown very, very well.
Sure has.
Catcher gives the 2 sign, which is usually a breaking pitch.
Pretty close over at first. Struck out a career high 8 in 3 innings of work against Cal State Northridge in the West Regional Championship game. Keeping Blake on his toes over there.
Not sure 0-1's the count that Blake will be going.
Niles is up in the Florida State bullpen.
Chavez with a good backdoor slider that time.
Blake is always a threat to go down at first. He's 19 out of 20 in the stolen base department this year.
Doesn't look fast, but he's got good quickness. And he gets a good jump on the pitcher.
Nice combination. Leads the team in home runs, stolen 19 out of 20 bases.
Professional scouts like that, the versatility of speed and power.
Way outside and a good stab by Reese. Excuse me, I said Reese. It's Salazar. Has to do it again, goes down in the dirt. This one gets away. Blake couldn't get a jump and retreats to first.
And that's that play where you have a split second to make a decision whether to go or not. And probably what happened was Blake took his eye off the ball, thought he fielded it cleanly, and then was in no man's land, went back to first.
2-2 to Adam McCullough. Nobody out here in the 7th. Another throw over. Chavez paying a lot of attention to Casey Blake.
Good base runners, Mike, will, when they see the ball is going down into the dirt, will take a step towards the bag and will at least get their momentum going.
He goes, pitches outside. Salazar's throw is high. They got it. Salazar threw a strike about eye high, and they got the tag down. Bang, bang.
And that's a big play for the Seminoles. That takes a good base runner off the pass. Ball's outside. It's good to have that pitch on the outside for a right-handed throwing catcher. And I think he tags him on the shoulder, and I thought his hand was already on the bag. Pretty close.
What, that's close. McCullough now taps it on the ground weakly to Zetch at second base. He throws him out, too quickly gone. Only the second time Casey Blake has been caught stealing all year. And Mike Martin said the reason he would start Salazar tonight is because of the base running skills of Wichita State. And Salazar had a little bit better arm than Jeremiah Klosterman, who started the first game in the College World Series.
Salazar has good instincts, good feet behind home plate, good quick release, gets rid of the ball quickly.
Jeff Ryan stands in with 2 out and nobody on in the shocker 7th inning. Breaking ball called strike 1. Chavez, an impressive looking redshirt freshman.
Let's take a look one more time at the tag. Let's see where he puts the shoulder on. I think he just gets him. I think that hand was, the fingers were up a little bit, and I think I saw the tag before the impact. Good call by the umpire.
2-1 to Ryan. Just missed 3-1.
Pretty difficult sometimes with sand flying all over and bodies moving. The umpire's got the closest view.
Fastball too high, lost him on a 3-1 count. Chavez coming into this game had walked 33 in 43 innings. So he's been known to give up a base on balls, but he's been able to get himself out of trouble with a lot of strikeouts. Ryan goes to first and Stein comes up.
Stein, the hero of last inning with that great throw from right field.
0 for 3 at the plate and 1 for 6 in the College World Series.
He's a good competitor. Puts the ball where it's pitched. Got a little bit of pop in his bat.
Got away from the catcher, but not far enough. If we can tell that lady downstairs with a horse blanket that the price has gone up again, we may entice her to, ma'am.
She's got another one.
We're up to 100 for either one, in fact.
We thought we were buying it from her, and she's buying them from other people. But for every person with a parka and 2 blankets, you find somebody in a t-shirt and shorts. I'm quite sure we'll find somebody.
Or with a nice fur coat.
That's right.
2-0 to Stein. Rips it to center field. J.D. Drew with a beat on it and makes the catch. Stein can't buy a break with a bat in his hand. Go to the bottom of the 7th. Wichita State still by 2.
Well, welcome back to Omaha, and it is a very chilly night here, obviously, in this wonderful city of Nebraska. And I'm sitting here with Karine Fougeron, and Karine, I want to negotiate this deal because Mike Patrick and Steve Garvey are up there trying to auction off your blanket. Now, I know the bid is up to $100. Do you want more?
Yes.
Guys, I'll try to do the best I can.
He wants more than $100. How about a baseball?
An autographed baseball from Steve Garvey?
How about an autographed baseball?
That would be great. I take that.
From Steve Garvey.
You bet.
Oh, she's so sweet.
Steve.
With kisses on it.
She's a sweetheart.
With kisses on it.
Larry, that's worth both blankets, though.
You got some footballs in your duffel, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Some autographed Joe Theismann footballs. I'm quite sure.
Yeah, I can get one of those. Scooby Morgan is the hitter. Switched from the mound to right field when he was replaced as the starting pitcher. He will lead off the Seminole 7th inning.
Loopers should start to get adjusted to the mound now, and you'll see more velocity. 2/3 of an inning he worked last inning. I think it took him a little bit of time to get used to it.
Strike call. Morgan, a .314 hitter, has had 2 at-bats in the College World Series without a hit, but he has drawn 2 walks. The senior co-captain, he can hit. He was, as the DH in the regional, hit .385 and won 2 games as a pitcher as well. 96, but it missed.
Cuts down your reaction time, doesn't it?
Doesn't it, though? Big fastball, big cut.
I'll tell you, if that one before that was 96, that had to be 97.
And the scouts are loving it.
Those guns are heating up back there. They're pouring more coal into them.
Low fastball. Good job by Morgan to check his swing. And it's 3-2.
Not only do you have to be quick as a batter, but you've got to be quick as an umpire, too. You've got to turn it up. You're watching a guy that's been throwing 78. Now Looper's throwing 96.
Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball hit toward the hole. Stabbed by Blake. Nice play. Casey Blake ranging far to his left and came up and made the good throw. Chavez will be done as Jose Zabala will come up as a pinch hitter. Zabala, a .224 hitter, a sophomore from Miami, who had started the last 3 games at third base coming into the College World Series. Has some power.
Now, if I'm Zabala, I've got to be saying to myself, I've been sitting around for 2.5 hours. How am I going to catch up to this 95-mile-an-hour fastball? Well, you do that by flattening your bat, taking a short stride, keeping that front shoulder in, and really just throwing the head of the bat at the ball. It looks like he's in good position.
Fouls off the 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Every scout in every sport loves speed, and right now Braden Looper is making a lot of friends down there. Not that he didn't have them before.
You know, we're in a pretty good position back here for a foul ball. You know, with good velocity, and
I'm counting on
guys
you.
a little late.
Pitching coaches often talk about the differential too between the fastball and the breaking ball in speed.
Well, they like to see the differential. They like to see the change in locations up and down and in and out.
Wyckoff catches the soft line drive from Jose Zabala. 2 gone and back to the top of the order for Brooks Batto.
I think the big key is the deception of trying to get the batter off balance, whether it's by location or by speed or the combination of both. See, I knew that one was 97 miles an hour. Those Jugs guns come in a black Samsonite case. Looks like a Samsonite convention down below us.
Batto 1 for 3. John gets on the air more than any person at ESPN. He gets more airtime than Dick Vitale.
Intelligent. He knows the angles.
Strike call at 3-1. Bottom of the 7th, 2 out, nobody on. And it's up to Looper to hold it for Wichita State and their 3-1 lead.
Not only was it 95, he painted the outside corner low and away. He'll go back.
Did it again, hit toward the hole. This time Blake could only get a glove on it and couldn't hold it. Batto has his second hit in his second College World Series game.
You got to be flat and quick against Looper, and that's what Batto does. A little deflection here, just out of the reach. Zach Sorensen.
Adam Farrow, who is 1 for 3 tonight, stands in. Seminoles are at the point now. One swing could tie it up.
We talked about contrast in speed from a 95-mile-an-hour fastball to an 81-mile-per-hour slider in a good location.
There's another one. If you can throw 95 to 97, they shouldn't let you throw that pitch. That should be illegal.
It should be outlawed. I've mentioned this before, but J.R. Richard used to throw 95, 96 and a 91-mile-an-hour slider.
All 4 batters against Looper have hit the ball to the opposite field. Pretty tough to catch up to that speed. Here's the 0-2 to Adam Farrow. Outside.
Just think if he pitched inside. And as he becomes a professional, he will.
Foul tipped.
Well, slider up that time by Looper. Looper 6'5", 220 pounds.
That spells future, doesn't it?
That spells future. And some long arms, too. That's where you get that big whip.
The 1-2, line down the right field line, fair ball. Batto is on his way to third. Stein comes up throwing to second. It's a double. Everybody's gone opposite field, but the last 2 guys have come through with base hits.
It's still fair to hit the opposite way. Farrow does a good job of lining this ball just inside the line by about a foot. Stein comes up throwing, but just misses at second base.
And they're going to come out to look at Farrow. May have gotten a little dirt in his eye sliding headfirst into second base. But this puts the drama back in the ball game because the hitter is J.D. Drew, who was the hero every time he came to the plate a year ago here in the College World Series. This will be strength against strength.
And we talked about this exact situation in the opening. We said that J.D. Drew, the impact player for the Seminole, would be coming up in crucial situations. And this is as crucial as any in the game. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. The Seminoles down by 2. Power against power.
One of the best hitters in college baseball against one of the best pitchers. Big swing on a big fastball.
Oh, I like this. This is one of the best confrontations of this 50th College World Series. It's a 95-mile-per-hour fastball and about 110-mile-an-hour swing.
He had a rip.
But if that ball would have been down, it would have been easier for J.D. Drew.
Hit on the ground, through into right field. 1 run scores. The throw to the plate not in time, and J.D. Drew delivers with the 2-run single.
Looper shakes his head, but we just said if the ball's down, it's easier to hit. And Drew took that fastball down and hit it right through the hole. And 2-run score to tie up this game.
McCullough with the dive, trying to prevent the runs, just couldn't get the glove on it. Strength against strength, and J.D. Drew came through when his team needed him the very most. He has driven in all 3 runs tonight with a sacrifice fly and that single. Some of the better hitters in the College World Series this year, like Drew, have not gotten a lot of good pitches to hit.
No, and it's sparked by the opposition. That's why we talked about good scouting reports. Some of the best hitters in this World Series have been pitched around or not given much to hit. But in this case, there was no need for Looper to do anything but to throw that hard fastball, and he got it in the right spot for Drew, and Drew just hit it right through the hole.
And the other tough out in this lineup, Jeremy Morris, who was 1 for 3, comes up with Drew on first. Big cut by Morris and didn't get it 1-1.
It's a simple equation. Great players get big hits in crucial games.
High fastball.
And I will guarantee you he wanted to be up in that situation.
Oh, yeah. Looking
Guaranteed.
forward to it.
And not everybody wants to be up in that situation.
And not only is the hit huge and the runs obviously to tie the game, but it gives them a chance, if this game goes on, to come up again and have another crack at it, to turn your lineup over.
This is the 7th inning. You want to get your big people up in the 9th inning if it's still tied.
Here's the 2-2. Runner goes. Ball hit foul. So Mike Martin trying to use Drew's speed to an advantage.
You could be a good head coach. You know that? You're thinking ahead. Know the game.
Oh, I wasn't any good, but I played a lot.
To take a big pay cut. But you'd do that to be a teacher again, wouldn't you?
No. Been there, done that. Didn't like it.
Mrs. Patrick has a lot of things to do around the house.
Yes, sir. Drew runs, throwing the dirt, safe. Reese got it there in a hurry, and Sorensen did a good job of digging it out. But Drew is in there with a stolen base, his 10th.
Now Drew really steals this off of Looper, even though he can throw 95. It's a one-hopper, and Drew makes a very good slide. He goes for the outside of the bag with his right leg. Very intelligent.
Morris fouls it away. Count rides at 3-2. The 4th stolen base for the Seminoles tonight. We have just had one good ball game after another.
This game has gotten better from about the 3rd inning on.
Yes, it has. Another 3-2 to Morris. Foul tipped into the glove of Nathan Reese. The inning is over, but J.D. Drew produces 2 runs with a single, and we're tied at 3. 3-3 as we go to the top of the 8th. The Seminoles of Florida State have come from behind and tied it up, and Wichita State will be coming to bat in the 8th inning. The new pitcher, Randy Niles, a sophomore from Key West, Florida. 3 wins, 3 saves, a large earned run average of 5.40. Struck out 52 in 41 2/3 innings. It will be his game to win or lose now that we are tied again. And the Seminole hitters got the job done against Braden Looper. Nathan Reese, the catcher, will lead it off here in the 8th. Reese 1 for 2, single and a walk.
Just to go back to the last half inning, the reason Florida State did a good job against Looper is they went up with good flat bats and short swings. Unlike Wichita State tonight, that has had longer swings and I think really hasn't taken advantage of some good pitches to hit. So Florida State, a good inning for them physically and mentally.
1-1 to Reese. Another player in the college system who does not have great tools but a big game. He has given Gene Stevenson everything he has since coming to Wichita State.
He can't be happy with himself. He let up a couple of runs that have tied this game.
Niles something of a slinger.
Throw across his body a little bit.
And Howell is up in the bullpen.
Mike Martin knows that he can't let a pitcher go wild or get a couple runners on and let one swing take him back out of the game.
Not after fighting this hard to get back in it against the premier relief pitcher in the game. Breaking ball hit high in the air to shallow left. Jeremy Morris just dropped it. The easiest play he'll have in a month.
These are tough to explain. He's tracked it all the way and it just hits in the palm of his glove and just bounces out. May have let his glove get in front of his eyesight just a little bit, but it's just tough to explain. He was right there.
Chris Bauer will come in to run for Nathan Reese, and talk about letting the air out of the balloon. Florida State on a high after that inning. And then a pop fly turns into an error.
Wichita State starts to get up its gamers, the guys that get the job done.
Runner goes. The ball was foul at the plate. I'm sorry. I thought that was the indication from the home plate umpire that it was a foul ball.
Let's take a look. Niles comes in with a slider down. Swings and misses. No attempt at second. Stolen base.
So Bauer is in there and in scoring position with nobody out for Sorensen, who now tries to lay the sacrifice down.
Sorensen trying to bunt that slider down and in. Should have got the head of the bat out there a little more. It's a tough ball to bunt to begin with, much less when you keep the bat back. Gene Stevenson wants this player now to pull the ball to the right side, get the runner over.
And he does. Sprague will toss to the pitcher covering. Niles gets the out, but Bauer goes into third. So Sorensen does his job and will leave it up to Kevin Hooper, who has done his job every time he has come up in the College World Series.
Sorensen as a team man, you can see the players, his teammates coming over, giving him high fives because they know and he knows that he did the job that time, sacrificed himself. Now the Seminole infield will have to play in with a guy who's been as pesky and as successful as anybody against him tonight, and that's Hooper.
Hooper is 2 for 3 tonight. The only out he made was a ground ball that drove in another run. And he is hitting 4 for 7 here in the College World Series in 2 games.
Now don't put it by Gene Stevenson to squeeze in this situation. It's got to be a time where they might even pitch out.
Breaking ball just missed.
And Hooper knows what to do again. Same situation as before. He's got to get the ball up in the air to center or to right, or hit the ball to the right side.
Niles high with a breaking ball, 2-0.
I don't think Niles has a lot of fear of Hooper. I don't know if he's been paying attention to tonight's game, but he should, because regardless of Hooper's size, he's executed very well.
Breaking pitch is in there that time.
Like I said, you can wait and wait. That was his pitch to hit right there. He's got to think hitterish now. He's got to think about driving the ball.
Taking his time, looking down at Gene Stevenson for the signs. Niles behind 2-1.
Be a good situation to squeeze.
Another breaking ball that hangs high. 3-1 to Hooper. Randy Young would be the next hitter.
Randy Young has not hit the ball very well tonight. So in this hitting situation, Hooper's got to be very aggressive.
Squares the bunt, suicide foul. That's a good call by Gene Stevenson. He waited and waited and waited, got a 3-1 count, knew he'd get a good pitch.
Let's take a look. The runner goes now, just can't quite keep it in fair territory.
And really the first time in 2 College World Series games as a freshman that Kevin Hooper hasn't been able to execute the play that he needed to at bat or in the field.
Well, let's see if there'll be redemption. He'll get another chance at 3-2.
Hit, stabbed at third. Thoreau, what a play! Hooper's bid for a game-leading base hit is cut off by Thoreau. Remember, this is the kid who lost his job because of a fielding slump. He has been sparkling tonight.
Thoreau just dives, leaves the ground, now checks, and still has the poise and arm to throw him out at first by a half a step. What a play! Wow, he even pivots around and still gets him. That's a game saver.
It is. And now the infield can go back to normal depth. Young chops it. This will be tough. He can fly. Thoreau got rid of it in a hurry and threw him out. Well, how do you do, Adam? Thoreau? 2 big-time plays at third. Randy Young can fly down the line, and Thoreau grabs it and guns it. Bottom of the 8th, 3-3. As we go to the bottom of the 8th in an exciting ball game, Wichita State and Florida State tied at 3. Let's go back to the 6th inning of play. Hooper with a ground ball, Zetch with the throw right by the pitcher. Zetch was charged with the error. That was a 2-run play that gave Wichita State the lead. But this inning starts with the left fielder dropping a routine fly ball. And then dynamite plays by Thoreau at third. 2 plays in a row. This is the last one to throw out to Speedy Young at first base and end the inning. Thoreau still accepting congratulations in the Seminole dugout.
That young man made the best 2 back-to-back plays I have seen at this College World Series or any College World Series or even in the major leagues in a long time.
That was terrific. Brian Preston is the new catcher as Scott Zetch stands in. Tries to bunt his way on, and it's foul. Zetch 1 for 3. You gave up the baseball. Where are those blankets?
That's right. The country's founded on bartering.
There's Brian Preston behind the plate instead of Nathan Reese. 3-1 from Looper to Scott Zetch. Well, there's the autograph.
All right.
And she's still got the blankets.
It's just like a girl, isn't it?
We want the ring back, madam.
That's okay. I would rather have her warm and comfortable.
Hey, speak for yourself, partner.
That's right.
You gave up to baseball. We want the blankets.
Listen, I with a beautiful wife and 5 daughters, I've long since given in to the other gender.
Hey, don't start this philosophy stuff with me. I'm still cold.
Hey, it's a fact, big guy.
I can't argue with you.
Did you notice that
I just
autograph?
don't want to hear it.
What did you notice about that autograph?
I did not. I'm sorry. I just saw you sign it.
That it was legible. It's one of the rarest of autographs nowadays that you can actually read the name. I've been telling the young guys for the Dodgers and other teams, why sign unless somebody can read it?
Sprague in with Zetch at first. Seminoles bidding to get the go-ahead run in scoring position. And Looper having trouble with the strike zone.
He's hiding. He's talking to his players.
I think he was saying pull the ball, which is easier said than done against a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
To start early against Looper.
Sprague 0 for 3 tonight. Grounded to short. Grounded to third and lined into a double play. The double play was the only time he's been able to pull the ball when he hit it to the right side to McCullough.
Well, this is why Mike Martin wants him to pull it. If you look at the hole between first and second baseman's towards the bag for the double play. First baseman holding him on, so there's lots of territory to pull that ball through the right side.
Bunts it down the third base line. They let it roll. Hits the bag. It's a base hit. Casey Blake gambled and lost. And Sprague has a base hit.
Let's take a look at this bunt. Now, there's an old philosophy. The harder it's hit, the quicker you field it, because the ball is going to stay its course better than a slower ball. And Casey Blake took the chance and lost.
Runners at first and second. Nobody out. Bottom of the 8th inning. Jeremy Salazar, who is 2 for 3.
A lot of pressure on the Shocker defense now.
Fists one into the stands behind the dugout down the right field side.
2 options, either trying to bunt the runners over or swinging away. Mike Martin letting him swing away. Tough to bunt a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Salazar, a good alley hitter, can hit the ball the other way. That's why he's letting him swing, or let him swing in that situation.
Mike Martin says his players have believed all year when nobody else did. Salazar pulled the bat back. It was low for a ball.
Shockers don't seem to have any plays on out there.
Looper, in an inning and 2/3, has given up 5 hits and 2 runs and struck out only 1. Not his typical outing.
No matter how hard you throw, young players are used to fastballs.
Salazar. That'll be a base hit. pushed it past Looper. 2 consecutive bunt base hits with 2 players just trying to sacrifice.
Now the first hit was an individual decision. This is a communication. The third baseman figures that Looper can get it, and he can't. Third baseman goes back to the bag. Casey Blake, fastball, nice and straight. See, they can't deaden the ball, so they really are hitting the bunts too hard, but in the right spot.
And this will bring up Scooby Morgan with the bases loaded. Nobody out in the 8th. I can't help but remember hearing Mike Martin say this morning in our meeting, things sometimes have to go our way. We need a break here and there. We got them in the regional, and if we can get a break tonight, these kids believe in themselves so much, we can win.
But you have to execute the fundamentals to allow yourself to get breaks.
Absolutely.
The old saying, luck is the residue of design.
Ball 1.
And execution.
The infield comes in. That's Zetch at third. Sprague down at second. Salazar, the catcher, on at first. Looper has given up 6 hits, the most he's allowed in a game this year. Ball 2. If you're Morgan at the plate, what are you thinking now with the bases loaded and 2 out, or 2-0?
Well, first of all, I'm thinking now ahead in the count. I've got to look for a fastball over. I'm going to take a big rip and see if I can break this game open.
High pop-up, drifting toward the stands, and it'll be back several rows. Morgan tied for second on the club with 13 home runs, and I think he knows that was a good pitch to hit.
Ball is just a little up. That ball is down about an inch or 2. He's got himself a grand slam.
The wind still blowing to right for a guy who can turn on it.
Looper can throw that ball low and away. He's got to stay right out there.
High fastball, swing and a miss. Up in his eyes, but as we said so many times, that's tough to lay off of.
That was an instant flashback to the World Series where Bob Welch throws against Reggie Jackson and strikes him out with that high fastball. Looper's got to stay up there or low and away.
Slider breaks low. Full count.
That was a gift. To throw a slider that time was really a gift. He's lucky he didn't hit that ball down the line for a double. A bases clearing double.
Here's the payoff pitch.
Can only be a fastball.
Fastball, pop foul back in the stands. Same situation with J.D. Drew. It's strength against strength.
Now if you're the hitter, you really have to zone in on the release point of the pitcher. You've got to be able to give yourself as much time. Now he only has about 4/10 of a second to determine the speed, angle, and location of this round ball and get that round bat on it squarely. So you got to flatten the bat, short strike, keep that front shoulder closed, and track it all the way to the hitting zone.
Time called.
Sounds pretty easy, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
All in 4/10 of a second. Catcher sets up outside.
High fastball popped up. It's going to be back on the screen.
See, this is not where Looper wants to throw this ball. He, for whatever reason, he's leaving the ball up, whether he's short, his stride is shortened or whatever it is. He really wants to get this ball down and on the outside part of the plate.
The infield at the edge of the grass. They have to cut off the run. The third 3-2 pitch to Scooby Morgan. Checked his swing. Ball 4. Zetch trots home with the lead run.
Now a check swing, either you have to break the plane of the plate with the bat or your wrist. That's very, very close. A lot of wishing and hoping right there.
Klosterman will be the pinch hitter for the pitcher Niles. Klosterman, a freshman from Jacksonville, Florida, .274 hitter. Now there is no one in the Wichita State bullpen. Gene Stevenson coming out to talk. Remember, Wyckoff, the left fielder, is also a relief pitcher. He has been used before. This is an elimination game. The loser of this game goes home. The winner goes on to meet the Florida Gators tomorrow night. Florida fell into the elimination round this afternoon, losing to LSU. So the bases are still loaded here for Florida State. They're up 4-3. Nobody out in the home half of the 8th inning.
It's double jeopardy for Gene Stevenson and the Wichita State Shockers, simply because now they're down by a run with only 3 outs to go for them. You can't believe that everything went his way this evening.
And Wyckoff is throwing with Young out in left center field. And it is going to be Travis Wyckoff, who pitched exceptionally well in the first game when he was called on. Ryan will go into left. We'll check the stats on Wyckoff when we come back. Bottom of the 8th, Florida State on top 4-3, still bases loaded, nobody out, and Braden Looper did not show his best stuff tonight. He is a brilliant pitcher. Leaves with not a typical performance. And you've got to credit Florida State with really hanging in there. I mean, he was still throwing the ball 94, 95, 96 miles an hour.
But he had one problem, and that was it was straight. The ball has to move. I don't care if you do throw that fast. Good college hitters are going to catch up with a fastball because a lot of them have good flat swings and strokes.
Braden Looper back on the bench. Travis Wyckoff is the new pitcher. Wyckoff making his second World Series appearance. Hit right back up through the middle by Jeremiah Klosterman, the pinch hitter. 1 run is home. 2 runs are home. 6-3 Seminoles. Klosterman delivers the pinch hit.
Base hit.
He stepped up wanting to hit. He took that pitch and just got on top of it, rifled it right up the middle, past a drawn-in infield. 2-run score, making it 6-3 Florida State.
Looper has been charged with his 5th run of the ball game and is responsible for the pinch runner Brian Sr., who went to 3rd. And now Brooks Baddow back to the top of the order, and you can see the dejection in the Wichita State dugout. This is a team, and you see the speed on his pitches between the 7th and the 8th innings. This is a team full of seniors who came back for their senior year rather than to go pro because they wanted to get back to the College World Series. Chopped to short. Sorensen to the plate. A 1-hopper, and he's out. Preston cuts down Brian Sr. at the plate. Nice play by the catcher, Brian Preston.
This is a crucial play now for the Shockers. They can't allow any more runs. He throws a 1-hopper right at him and gets the head before the hand touches the plate. Gets on top of it too much, but throws it straight.
Sorensen very fortunate on the hop. 1 out now, runners at first and second for Perot, who is 2 for 4. Another base hit. The Seminoles would have a chance to really put it away here. Wyckoff in his first College World Series appearance, 3 innings, gave up only 1 hit and struck out 6. Coming in from left field. Base hit to left. Klosterman comes to third. They'll hold him. Ryan was playing a shallow left field, charged the ball hard and came up throwing, but the bases are loaded again.
And that ball was hit extremely hard that time. Take a look at this flat swing. This hooking shot through the hole. The third base coach holds him at third. He knows his speed.
Good decision down there by Chip Baker, because Ryan was coming out to throw a strike, and Looper can only sit and hope that Wyckoff can do something here. And now J.D. Drew, who was the hero the last time up when the Seminoles were behind 3-1, he delivered a single that drove in 2. And remember, he had the sacrifice fly early that drove in the first run.
He's delivered in 2 crucial situations tonight. I like the way he wears those socks, nice and high. There's a tear to my eye.
And
no
you don't think
why he won't do it again, Mike?
And you don't think he'd like to jerk one right here? Drew's home, Hahira, Georgia, a 3-hour drive from Atlanta, and he hopes his family and friends will be able to come see he and his teammates play in the Olympics this year. Fanned at a breaking pitch. Good toss from Wyckoff.
The pitcher that gives Drew trouble is a pitcher like Wyckoff, who will throw about 80 and about 70-mile-an-hour slider, who just tempts him on the outside corner.
1-2, bases loaded, 1 out in the 8th. Check swing, a little dribbler towards short. 2 runs will score. J.D. Drew with a seeing eye ground ball and a wry smile on his face. He has 5 RBIs. And Gene Stevenson can't believe it.
When I said there's no reason why he wouldn't do it again, you just have the feeling he's going to come through. You just have the feeling that the great players will just do what it takes. And here he just puts it in the right spot.
Got to be thinking to himself, that makes up for those smoking line drives that you hit right at somebody. And Jeremy Morris with runners at first and second, still only 1 out, and it is 8-3 FSU. And here comes Gene Stevenson as Wichita State can see it slipping away. And he's going to make a pitching change. We'll be back to check out the new hurler for the Shockers in just a moment.
We talked about the charmed life of this Seminole team. And if we look at this inning, there was a walk and there was a bunt down the line that hit the bag, and there was a bunt that was in the right spot, and then there was another walk, and there was a bouncer through the middle. And then there was a play at the plate. They finally got it out, and then
a check swing, 2-run single.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, I mean, there hasn't been a ball that's been lined to the outfield yet.
Mark Bluma is the new pitcher. He is the 3rd member of the Bluma family to pitch for the Shockers. Jeff from 87 to 90, Jamie the All-American from 91 to 94. And this is Mark Bluma, the freshman from Owasso, Oklahoma. And he's got pretty good stuff too, just like his older brother Jamie. Jeremy Morris stands in, trying to add to the damage with runners at first and second and 1 out. Strike call on a high slider. Jamie now with the Omaha Royals, who play right here at Rosenblatt in AAA ball. Fastball line to center field. Randy Young comes on, makes the catch, throws back to second, not in time. But just what you said, Steve, there hadn't been a ball hard hit. Finally, there's one line, and it's an out.
The irony of the inning is that Morris just crushed that ball right to center for the second out of the inning. Hasn't he learned?
Check swing opposite field. They go through. So Bluma retires the first man he faces, and Scott Zetch will stand in with 2 out. And right now, the Seminoles are just thinking top of the 9th. Let's go play some defense and get out of here.
Well, Zetch started this whole inning off with a walk.
Gets to come up again with 2 out. Strike right in there. Zetch is 1 for 3 tonight, 3 for 7 in 2 games of the College World Series. His move to second base this year really helped this ball club. Solidified the infield. Tapped foul.
It's a natural shortstop who went to third base and played third in last year's College World Series.
Been a streaky hitter for them. He's been hot at the right time here. Down in the dirt. Nice block by Preston. 2-2.
Not only does Florida State have a 8-3 lead, puts them in a position where one swing can't tie the game, meaning a grand slam.
Bluma called strike 3 with a fastball inside to Zetch. So Bluma gets Wichita State out of the inning, but the damage is done. J.D. Drew with 5 RBIs in this game. 5 runs and 5 hits in this inning. It's 8-3. Put it in perspective for Braden Looper. He gave up 5 earned runs tonight. Coming into the Seedings performance, he had given up 7 earned runs all year long. Got to be tough for that young man to digest. And Neal will come on as the new pitcher for Florida State. 15 games, has not won or lost one. Excellent earned run average and almost a strikeout per inning. Brian Sr., who was a pinch hitter, goes into play right field defensively for Mike Martin. Neal, a junior from Fort Pierce, Florida. And Travis Wyckoff will lead it off for Wichita State. And they need the rally of rallies right here, down by 5 in the 9th. And psychologically, they have to be devastated. Sports Center coming up right after our broadcast. Strike called, 2-1.
It wasn't that long ago, the bottom of the 7th, when Wichita State had a comfortable 3-1 lead with Looper on the mound.
Up and in, 3-1.
But the charmed wands of the Florida State Seminoles.
Yes. Ball 4. So Neal commits what is the relief pitcher's cardinal sin. You get a big lead, go to the 9th and walk the first batter.
We always said you could throw it underhand up there with a big lead going into the 9th, and the guys will probably pop it up or ground out.
And here comes the dangerous Casey Blake, who has enjoyed a brilliant series. 1 for 2 tonight. A walk, was hit by a pitch. And is 5 for 7 in the series overall. What Wichita State needs right now is base runners. 1-1. Neal has already given them 1 on a base on balls. Strike on the outside corner. Nice pitch from the junior. looking more and more like a Florida State rematch tomorrow night. Two arch rivals in every sport. Breaking ball misses, 2-2. Ball 3.
Each of the 8 teams that have come to this College World Series, not only talented, but teams of character. And you won't see this Wichita State team go gently into the good night. You want to put at least one last rally together.
Ball 4. Neal walks the first 2 hitters he faces in the 9th. And he's in for a little chat. Mike Martin isn't out there yet, but it won't be long, I'll tell you that.
He may look relaxed, but he's not comfortable. Just a scenario. McCullough hits a home run. Now it's 8-6. Couple guys get on, and another guy hits a home run. Now it's 9-8, and all of a sudden you lose. Mike Martin has been around so long, he's seen those kind of things happen.
He's seen it, and we've seen it out here repeatedly. Neal has to throw strikes. Just missed. McCullough stands in 1 for 4. Just a little bit outside. All the way back to the screen. Holy cow.
Just a little bit outside and a whole lot inside. That's all it took was
and that's it.
One pitch that was in a different zip code.
Stephen Neal has just wild pitched himself out of the ball game. He threw 12 pitches, 10 of them balls, including that one to the backstop. 8-3 Florida State. We're in the 9th, but it's not over. Wichita State has 2 runners aboard and nobody out in their half of the 9th. The new pitcher, Mike Davis, Jr. from Rocky Face, Georgia. 59 2/3 innings. He's won 6 and lost 1 with an excellent earned run average. During the regionals, he was ranked 15th in the NCAA in that department. And he comes in on the heels of Neal throwing 10 out of 12 balls, walking 2 batters, and leaving a 2-0 count to Adam McCullough. And I'm sure Mike Martin said, you know what you're in here for.
Well, ironically, Wichita State has now gotten very deep into the Seminole bullpen. And as Mike Martin will tell you, after your 3 or 4 guys, he's got a lot of praying to do.
Ball 3. Strike called. Well, they certainly have their attention in the Wichita State dugout now.
Now that may.
Swing and a miss on a fastball by McCullough. 89 miles an hour right down Broadway.
Well, we've seen voodoo dolls today and a few medals that can be rubbed for good luck.
Three and 2 to McCullough, 2 aboard, nobody out in the 9th. Foul back out of play.
Did a good job of fouling that ball off. That was a good pitch, low and away, that you can't take. You can't assume that that's going to be called a ball. McCullough's got to really battle up there now. He's got to protect the plate. He's got to look right center, stay on every pitch.
Fastball fouled straight back. Defensive swing, but he got a piece. Ben Thomas will be the pinch hitter for Bluma. Time called, and McCullough, the senior from Lawton, Oklahoma, steps out. Very intense in both dugouts right now. Fouled away again. McCullough hanging in there against good fastballs from Mike Davis, who inherited a 2-0 count.
And has battled back into a 3-2 situation. McCullough knows he's only going to get a fastball. And that man right there knows that he's got to throw a fastball. He can't walk another batter.
Missed. They're loaded.
Now, isn't this the charm of baseball? No time limit. You've got to get 27 outs and one more run than the other team, but you've got to get 27 outs.
You might not be able to sell the charm aspect to the Florida State folks right now.
But you sure can to everybody in Kansas.
Yes. Ben Thomas, .325 hitter with a couple of home runs this year. He has pinch hit once before here in Omaha. 0 for 1. Wichita State is one more hitter away from bringing the tying run to the plate. And the plate is dancing for the Seminole pitching staff.
It's like it's on a string and somebody's moving it around.
Jason Ficken is the pinch runner at first for McCullough. Ficken, a senior from Aurora, Colorado.
It's a good matchup. Right-hander against left-hander. Ben Thomas, good pop in his bat.
Strike called, low inside corner at the knee.
You really want to see a batter swing in this situation, but he still isn't the tying run. He had to take a strike.
Ball 2.
There's your
Stein, the
timer.
potential tying run.
Yeah. Who's hit the ball very hard last time.
Thomas fouls this one back out of play. 2-2. Well, you just know the Seminoles had to feel like this was a walkover after getting 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th, taking an 8-3 lead. Just going to be able to walk back to the hotel and think about tomorrow. Things have changed. Chopper down the third baseline. This will be a tough play. All Davis could do was get to it.
Can this really be happening? This looks a lot like the bottom of the 8th inning for Florida State, except this ball is chopped, takes a little spin, and he just can't keep his balance and falls into the foul territory. And all of a sudden, a run scores. The bases are still loaded. The tying run comes to the plate, and there is nobody out.
Maybe the gods of baseball are looking down at what happened in the last inning with 2 sacrifice bunts that went for base hits and a check swing single that went for a 2-run single, 2 RBI single. They say things even out over the course of a season, but rarely do they even out over the course of an inning.
I get the feeling there are some ghosts here at Rosenblatt Stadium who want this game to get much closer before it's over.
Randy Choate, who started on Saturday, as Florida State will go to their ace to try to end this one. Top of the 9th, 8-4 Florida State over Wichita State, but the Shockers have the bases loaded with nobody out. Here's the story from the College World Series. Miami is the undefeated team in bracket 1. They will await the winner of Alabama and Clemson in an elimination game. That's tomorrow at 3:30 on ESPN. Then tomorrow night at 7:30, Florida will play the winner of this one. LSU undefeated, waiting in the wings. It looked for all the world like Florida State would advance in the bracket. They led 8-3 coming into the 9th inning. But it's 8-4 now, and Randy Choate, who lost the opening game against Florida as the starter, has come on as the 6th pitcher for the Seminoles. And he will face Jerry Stein.
Boy, do we love this game. Now Mike Martin has gone to one of his best pitchers. He pitched on Saturday against Florida
and threw 109 pitches in that game before he left.
Choate is the number 6 pitcher this evening for Florida State.
And this is his first relief appearance of the season. Stein is 0 for 4. He's hit the ball hard.
Remember, we're one swing away from having this game tied.
Just missed with a curveball.
Stein's hit the ball hard tonight. If there is any justice, this will be his at bat.
3-1.
This is a sport where you can't stall.
Even though at times like this you would like to.
You gotta throw the ball over the plate. And there's somebody there with a stick that's trying to hit it.
Strike 2 call.
Choate comes back with a good pitch on the outside corner. Nice tailing fastball.
Steve, players and fans on both sides have got to be saying, are you kidding me?
Great game.
3-2 to Stein. Struck him out.
Tough night for Stein, but he battles all the way. Just a little hesitation on that fastball, and Choate slips it by him. A little relief for the Seminole bench.
And they sure needed some. It was getting a little tight down there. Brian Preston, who came in to catch and has had one at bat, reached on an error. Stands in one swing away from a tie ball game. Preston has 3 home runs this year.
And he'd love to get number 4 in this situation. You got to swing the bat. You got to be aggressive.
1-1 from Randy Choate. Foul back. 1-2. And it looks like Choate has found his rhythm.
He's a very good pitcher. He can come in a situation like this and throw strikes, and that's why Mike Martin brought him in.
One out, bases loaded. Wichita State down to its last 2 outs. Down by 4.
Choate will try to tease him now. Let's look at the catcher and see where he sets up. Inside.
Breaking ball missed. 2-2. Preston from Augusta, Kansas. Excuse me, Steve.
Choate will try to get this ball over. He doesn't want to waste another pitch.
Struck him out. And it's all up to Zach Sorensen.
This is a pure running fastball inside that freezes Preston. Great pitch. Great situation. Give that man all the credit.
Sorensen is 0 for 3, 2 for 7 in the College World Series.
But a dangerous hitter.
Strike call. Sorensen with 4 homers including one in the first College World Series game.
Ninth inning, 2 out, bases loaded. What a classic hitting situation.
Strike 2 call. And Choate has found the groove. In his first relief appearance, trying to keep his team alive in the College World Series.
He'll throw that fastball in.
Randy Choate comes out of the bullpen for the first time and strikes out the side with the bases loaded. What a performance.